Not yet.
I'm gonna give you to the count of 3 to get your lousy, lying carcass out my door.
Now, you're the wrong guy in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, you got your wish last year. Maybe you'll get it again this year.
My family's in Florida. I'm in New York.
Look at the same shit happen to the same guy twice.
Hey,
fantastic.
Hey, happy holidays from Cinema Gulp. It's me, it's Danny, and it's Kevin McAllister here. Or now it's John McClane. We're doing our first ever live holiday mixer, which is great. Started out, we were going to be a normal thing where we do a recording and I edit it. Ran out of time, but I'm glad we're doing it live because it gives us more time to spend here with everybody and take some comments, hear what other people think about these 2 great sequels to 2 great movies, holiday movies. I don't care what anybody says.
Happy holidays, you filthy animals with no souls.
Yes, or filthier. In this one, it's filthier animals.
Yeah.
With even worse souls, which is great. So yeah, John is fighting off the wet bandits right now. So we'll get to him.
It's the sticky bandits in this one.
It is, and I'm going to get to that because one of the main reasons.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. One of the main reasons I wanted to pair these movies up together for the holiday mixer is because I consider Home Alone and Home Alone 2 to be very comparable to Die Hard and Die Hard 2. Home Alone is like Die Hard in a way. It's condensed, so what you call a bottle movie. It goes to churches and stuff like that, but it's in the house. Die Hard's in the building.
Yep.
It's contained, and both respective sequels branch out and get bigger. One's in a city, which you could almost compare to Die Hard 3, which is running around New York City, but they both get more expansive. So they're kind of the perfect double feature, Home Alone 2 and Die Hard 2. But I don't know if you guys got my private chat, but yeah, we are starting out with Die Hard 2. It's just, it's Die Hard 2. Like, we can't let that one sit on the back burner. Even
like you said, it's bigger, it's better, it's more explosions, it's more deaths, there's more obstacles to overcome.
No, I would say there's more violence. I would say there's almost as much violence in Home Alone 2, despite having nobody actually die. But Die Hard 2, for a while, was considered one of the most violent movies I've ever seen. When you consider the fact that an entire plane full of tourists explode, which is very gnarly, and we'll get to that. But one thing I noticed while prepping for this show is that if you take both these movie titles and put them together, you get Die Alone, and that may be something we all do. Who knows?
This is supposed to be like a Hallmark movie, Ben. You're going to make our audience start crying.
No, I mean, if you were ever going to make a crossover where Kevin McAllister's old and he goes and no, I'm not going there with Bruce Willis. I'm not going there. No. I hope he's okay.
Tolkien's already talking about doing another Home Alone where he's like the dad and gets locked out. And
he might as well at this point. He's super popular again for some reason, so fuck it. Do it.
You should cash some checks, baby.
Yeah. So, happy holidays again, everybody. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy everything. This is a new one for us, and I'm really happy to be doing this live with you guys. Specifically, Danny, because this is your first live show. This year, you've been a huge part of our edited content, coming up with ideas, being really great on the show. Now we have you live, so and you got antlers. So
I do.
Yeah. Well, again, Part 1 is about home invasion. Part 2 is about child abduction. That's what we'll say Home Alone is pretty much about.
Yeah.
And Die Hard 1 is about a robbery. Die Hard 2 is about a rescue, so to speak. Neither one of them, I guess you could call terrorists, but at the same time, you could call them both terrorists. But let's start off with Die Hard 2. John, do you want to? What are your thoughts? I mean, directed by Rennie Harlem, so he's no John McTiernan, but honestly, he's very underrated as an action director. I like Rennie Harlem a lot. He's done some good stuff. Yes, he did Cutthroat Island, but everybody gets a stinker, you know.
Sorry, have we started?
No.
Sorry,
this is a practice round.
I just came down the chimney. I missed a lot of your wonderful intro. I just flew in from the North Pole and.
Hey, John, we're live in
down
3, 2.
Basically, I just threw it to you.
Wait.
What?
Okay. So
taking a break from your 9 to 5.
What's that? Rennie Harlin. That's what you were talking about.
I just said, he directed it. I think he's underrated as an action director, but I wanted to hear your initial thoughts on Die Hard 2, since that's the one we are starting with. So,
okay, my initial thoughts. I mean, it's a worthy sequel. Die Hard 1 is the greatest action movie, like straight action movie that doesn't have sci-fi or fantasy elements added to it.
Just have to shout out.
And
Alan
so that's
Rickman,
a hard act to follow.
Alan Rickman in the first one. Sorry.
Yeah, God rest Alan.
Yeah, we're not here to review that movie. There's so many great things to go over on that movie, but that's the thing. This is a really hard act for any movie to live up to. I mean, it's living up to the greatest of all time, the GOAT. So when you're the follow up to the GOAT, you're not gonna succeed it well unless you're aliens. Some do. But I love it. I think Die Hard 2 is a very worthy sequel. I think I love the approach to the same premise. Like that's the knock on it is, it's the same thing. You're seeing the same thing over and over. But I think it does a really great job of telling that same story, but still keeping you engaged with new elements that seem very exciting. And the stakes are just as intense and just as high in this movie as the first movie. I think there's some really great creative things that this movie does. Yes, it's meant to hit those exact same beats. We want that familiarity of what we got from the first film, but I definitely think that Die Hard 2 is like my second favorite Die Hard film. Like I'm definitely more of a fan of Die Hard 2 than I am any of the other sequels.
Okay. What about you, Danny?
I enjoyed it from just the side of it being just so action packed and as John said earlier, how do you follow up such a great movie in number 1? And this just has so many things going on that you have to love the gun porn if you're into that. But it has a really dark tone. I mean, it's just so violent. And to have that plane crash. I mean, this is prior to 9/11, where they're announcing like 200 people died. It really is, attention grabbing. But the thing that stood out to me the most when I'm watching these older movies now is actors that have had really long, fruitful careers. And these are the movies that they kind of got their start in. For example, I love the villain in this one is the goofy kind of hick from Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
William
Sadler.
Yeah, William Sadler. I mean, just his performance and seeing him at the T-1000.
I don't think he had a ton of roles before this either.
Yeah, and then the T-1000 from Terminator 2. He's in this.
He says a sitting duck.
Yeah. So it's been fun watching all of those, and I think it's really cool that we combined Die Hard 2 and Home Alone 2 because I don't know if you know this, but Bonnie Bedelia, the actor that plays Holly McClane, John McClane's wife in the movie, that's Macaulay Culkin's real life aunt.
Really? I did not know that.
It is. So I thought that was awesome.
I think I had heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had heard that somewhere.
Interesting. That's very cool. I like both of them a lot. Bonnie Bedelia was.
I think
Go ahead.
I think I'd heard that because one of the Culkins, the other Culkins, was in Scream 4, where Bonnie Bedelia plays a mother of one of the characters and gets killed. And I think it came up in conversations about them being related, the Culkins and Bedelia being related then. But yeah, that's a nice little interesting connection between these two.
Yeah, and I like, Dennis Franz. Is it Franz?
I was going to
Franz
say,
from
dude, Dennis
NYPD.
Franz, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
NYPD
Such a
Blue. I mean, he puts on a great performance, and you can just see this movie is one of those early action films that have really set the tone for future action movies that we've been watching the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah. I respectively, because I really like this movie a lot. I love this movie. I watched it a lot as a kid on VHS. But I still hold firm on my stance that I think Die Hard 3 is better. But there's a lot of things. Everyone knows Die Hard 1 is the best. 2 and 3 go back and forth with people a lot. So I don't think I'm in the minority. It might be kind of 50-50, or I'm not sure.
I was reading about that online, Ben, and it's pretty split.
Yeah, and after this rewatch, as much as I love this movie, we'll get into it a little bit. There's a couple of things here and there that, and I think it had to do with the time of back in the 80s and 90s. There were little details that they just really didn't care to acknowledge in movies or in the stories themselves, and I'm fine with that. But there's just things like, why is McClane on the holiday traveling in an airport with a loaded gun? Like, a cop or not, off duty, you're not supposed to do that. He just kind of has it in his hands, fully loaded, ready to shoot, just sitting in the tarmac. And I was just like, okay, there's little things. But again, it's 80s, early 90s action. That stuff's not supposed to matter, but it's just things you see nowadays when you're a little bit older and stuff. I'm not saying that any of the other Die Hard movies don't have existing similar problems, but I love Die Hard 2. Like I said, Renny Harlin did a great job of. See, what he did with it was he really tried to emulate, not mimic and not copy from McTiernan, but he tried to keep a very similar grit to the film, the way it looks, the way John McClane acts, even though in this one he's a little bit picked up from the other one, sort of got his life back together a little bit, which obviously falls off in the third one. And I like that. I like that progression of him being back with Holly and moving to LA, but now the story doesn't take place in LA, which I thought was great. Is like, okay, well, now he's back on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And this one does not lean into, I almost said Halloween. It doesn't lean into Christmas as much as the first one does, despite it being a snowy setting. Obviously, the first one's an LA night. The opening with him, kind of at the airport. And you see the airport full of Christmas trees, and there's a deleted scene that really makes it feel Christmassy, and that has like a church choir doing Christmas carols in the airport while John McClane is walking through it in a deleted scene in this movie. So that made it feel more Christmassy. But when you watch the movie again, as I did last week, I'm like, oh, it's not. Aside from the beginning and the fact that it is snowing, they don't do the Christmas puns the way he does in the first. There's no ho ho ho. Now I have a machine gun. It's you know what I mean. It doesn't go for that, which is fine. It might have been too retread if it did, but anyway.
Yeah, it's a little less the little things that they do in the first film. Things like you're pointing out, the ho ho ho, the tape on his back, just little elements that we're able to get peppered throughout the movie that are Christmas, whereas this one, it's more just the snowy atmosphere that sets it. And again, is this officially on Christmas Eve, or is it just very close?
I think it's the day before Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
he said something about dinner with your parents tomorrow night. Let's get a hotel tonight.
Yeah.
By the way, that's O-Dog that just said hi. Yeah. Yo, dude. Thank you for showing up, man. Thank you.
Welcome.
Appreciate you, buddy. Anyway. Yeah, so I think it's the day before. I mean, or it's a couple days before, but it's not. I don't think because remember when he says Dennis Franz says in an airport on Christmas week, he doesn't say Christmas Eve, which he could have done.
Yes, Yeah, I think that's true. I have a message for Owen.
After this commercial break.
Yeah.
Ah.
Sorry. Am I delayed? Like, is my audio delayed? It looks like my video.
No. I don't think so. No, you're fine.
All right.
Hey, Ben, so you were talking about the progression of Bruce Willis's character.
Yeah.
His paycheck also was very progressed in the right direction too. He got $5 million for the first one, 7.5 for this one, and then 15 million for number 3.
Well, he wanted to make another movie. He wanted to make his passion project movie after Die Hard. So he had to postpone that. His passion project movie, by the way, was called Hudson Hawk, which I like because of how bad it is. But it's
John likes it?
I do. Yeah.
No, I like Hudson Hawk a lot. It's a fun movie. But so he had to put that off a year to do Die Hard, which is why I'm guessing the negotiations went in his favor to get paid more money. So that makes sense for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Hudson Hawk is way different than Die Hard or any of the action films he was making. So people were just turned off by it. But I think he's shown over his career he does all kinds of movies, and I think it's a fun Bruce Willis movie.
It's a fun movie, and Danny Aiello is the fucking goat in that movie. He's so funny, man. Yeah. But anyway, I want to talk about some of the differences because both of these movies, there's so many similarities in Home Alone 2. John, I don't know if you were able to hear while you're putting your Santa outfit on, but I talked about how both part ones are in one location, a building, a house, and then in the second ones they branch out and they get bigger. I think with Die Hard 2, he's different. McClane's not in the wrong place at the wrong time. I know that was the tagline. I know he says it in the movie. If you guys remember that weird teaser trailer that's not in the movie where he's running through some hallway saying it, he's not really in the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, he is, but so is everybody in that airport.
Yeah.
This one, he goes kind of pursuing this mystery. He sees these guys, they look sketchy. So he's pursuing it instead of being directly like, oh, fuck, I don't have my shoes on. I have to get out of this situation. It's very different, which is good because you don't want to do the exact same fucking thing. So I've never found it a retread of the first one with the exception of just him being against all these people, because in this one, he does have quote unquote help. There's people to talk to. He could leave and go get a cappuccino if he wants and come back. And Die Hard 1, he can't do that. Yeah. So yeah, so there's differences like that. But what do you guys think about, like, what do you feel the story structure is compared to 1? We won't talk about anything after 2 because obviously they waited a while to do 3 and then they waited a whole long time to do 4. So they feel a little bit more removed than this one, which came directly like 2 years later. But Danny, what do you think? Like, what do you think about how the situation presents itself being different than the other one? And maybe what the situation is between our I don't want to say MacGuffin because he's up in the air, but we have a Takagi in the first one, and then this one we have what's his name, General Esperanzo. So
General Esperanzo from Valverde.
Yes, this is the Valverde verse movie. Yeah.
This is in a very important movie in the Valverde verse.
Yeah, that's from Commando. I was reading about that too. So, by the way, that translates to Green Valley for Spanish-speaking folks.
Okay. So Danny, what do you think? Like, what do you, as far as being a sequel to Die Hard 1, do you think the circumstances, the villains, sort of the MacGuffin, sort of the crutch of the film, like, does it work for you? Does it feel different enough?
Yes, but not as much as the transition going from Home Alone 1 to Home Alone 2.
Right.
But I feel like you really need to see 1 and like 1 as far as Die Hard goes to really buy into dying harder in the next one. And it makes it more believable in the sense of, I mean, he's a badass. He saved the day in number 1. So, and he has that kind of bravado that he would be looking for that at the airport or noticing that and then taking action. That's just, you know, the guy that he is. Which quickly, by the way, the second movie, both movies of Die Hard are based on books. But the second one was based on a book called 58 Minutes, which basically had that same plot of a plane only having 58 minutes left of fuel. So just wanted to throw that in there really quick. But yeah, I mean, how do you top something so great as the first one? This one does it. I mean, you're on the edge of your seat. There's a ton of action. You know, there's kind of those surprise endings. You guys used a great term when we were reviewing the Alien movie, where you think the movie's over and then all of a sudden, dun, 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 you know, there's more issues. It does a really good job with that. But it gets too like the Home Alone 2, the violence is cheesy, but like this one, when he ejects out of the ball of fire, it really kind of lost me after that one. I was like, it didn't need that to make it a great movie. Like I said,
but how great is that scene? That composited, just
it's so terrible.
I like, for its day, I like that, you know, what they were able to accomplish in terms of the effect.
Sure.
And the concept of that moment. That's a great moment. That's like him using the fire hose to create a rope to be able to jump off of the roof and things like just in the moment, what's around me, what can I do? How can I escape the situation quickly?
Sure.
But it's terrible in terms of how long, like they needed the editor, Ben, our wonderful editor here. We needed somebody to shorten the damn time frame of those stupid grenades. It just is too unbelievable. They needed to throw the grenades in a different, like right at the last second or something. He needed to see them. They just needed to edit in a way where he did not have so much damn time before the grenades.
There have been long
scene.
Delayed grenades in movies before.
Yeah, but these are the worst.
These are the worst. Yeah.
Well, really quick, John.
He had to like stop himself and go, maybe these aren't going to go off. Maybe I don't need to eject.
Well, even before that too, like the amount of time that they're shooting into the nose of the plane, I was like, come on, man. Like, all right, you just emptied like
but you
a
see that in
first
movies.
of all, that would have destroyed the eject function. And
I mean, they put 1,000 rounds into the belly of that plane, dude.
But that scene is awesome, though. If you
Conceptually, I like the idea, you know, if you're going to have an action scene at an airport or whatever, that's a good one to have or whatever. But yeah, the execution of it is not perfect.
Right.
But
right.
And I think the action all throughout the movie, like it's good, it's well shot, it's strong, but it's not quite as visceral as the first film. I love it. I love it a lot, but it's just, there's something about the different style of Renny Harlin, who, you know, Cliffhanger and so many other films of his are exciting action films. Long Kiss Goodnight. Like, I do love his style. I think I've said in previous reviews that I think he's one of the directors that can kind of capture a Cameron-esque way of shooting an action scene that obviously I love. But there's something about the way it's captured in the first film that just makes it far more exciting than this film.
Yeah, I completely. Well, again, it's it's John McTiernan doing what he does, like storytelling through those action set pieces, and he knows when to let a film breathe, as does this one. And again, like the environment is so different that I find it hard to compare, but I think this one relies a lot on the score to kind of amp up action scenes. Even the scene where he's trying to get out from underneath the underground, the manhole thing or whatever it is, and Esperanza's planes come at him. It takes a while because that thing's super heavy. It's almost like the editor's like, well, we got to wait until this music beat stops in order for him to get. Because I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of there. What is taking so long?
Did you notice the goddamn music beat they stole? It's the aliens. It's the final moment in Aliens before the yeah.
No, it is. Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
Like, why did they? Come on, get your own music, you fuckers.
Fucking Michael Kamen, you fucking hack.
Yeah. I mean,
like I said earlier, it didn't need all that. Like he didn't need. It didn't need to be a split second before a 747 jumbo jet.
Yeah, it did. That's what McClane does. The McClane rolls out of the way at the last second.
Here's the scene.
That's the same way they shot that lady falling in Cliffhanger at the beginning. That's the same chair she was
Yeah, look at that face. Look at what
But that is one part of this terrorist plan that doesn't seem thought out enough, or that, you know, they're expecting a lot of luck that Esperanza is going to overpower everybody on that fucking plane. Like, he's got to take out the one guard with the whole cigarette trick.
And why was there one guard?
Yeah, and then even though he, you know, I guess the thought was if he has a gun, he'll be able to take control of the cockpit. But clearly that didn't happen. They fought back, and it turns into a situation, and the plane has to make an emergency landing, and that fucks their plan completely. So they are not the well-oiled machine that the first group of terrorists clearly were.
Yeah, the first group of terrorists were. I mean, that's the thing too. The hubris of it was on Colonel Stewart's thing, where he's like, you know, we got, and he had all the instruments to be 7 steps ahead. But you're right, because at the end they never expect McClane. You know, they're just like, you know, our plan is Esperanza is going to land on the runway that we decide, and there's not going to be anybody there. They should have been there already, but they weren't.
He had to land on a different runway because of what happened in the sky, which is part of it had nothing to do with McClane.
Runway 15. Yeah,
and was
you're right.
All
you're right.
their problem.
Oh my God, the quarterback is toast.
So every time
they needed a better quarterback, damn it.
So I'm going to be playing some of the TV edits throughout, because it's, if you've ever seen them, it's the funniest.
They are
TV
hilarious.
It's the funniest TV edits of all, absolute all time. For some reason, I don't know why the editors or whoever did the dubbing pictured McClane as a plumber from the South Bronx who smokes 3 packs of cigarettes a day, but that's what the guy sounds like. So I'm going to play one real quick. This is the metal detector one.
Hey, Carmine, let me ask you something. What sets off the metal detectors first? The lead in your hat or the junk in your brains?
That doesn't even make any sense, but you know, most of these don't. Here's one where they didn't even bother using the guy. This is just a sound editor not knowing what the fuck.
Connection? Come on, McClane, just a few words.
Okay, just a few words. Joe. Off.
So they took a line of they took a word of dialogue joke from Colonel Stewart and put it in where he says "fuck off."
Connection? Come on, McClane, just a few words.
Okay, just a few words. Joe. Off.
What?
I didn't do that. That's on the TV edit. It's fucking amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's William Sadler's
joke off. It doesn't even line up like at all. Hey, yo, Josh, what's up, dude? Happy Christmas, girl.
Wait.
I was just about to bring up the TV edits. Yeah. Oh, dude, they're fucking legendary. Yeah, the TV edits are legendary. I'm gonna save one for a bit, but we gotta play this one.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Yeah,
what is Mr. Falcon? But he sounds like Bruno Kirby. Dude, he sounds like Bruno Kirby. It's like all of a sudden Bruce Willis is Bruno Kirby for some reason.
Well, in this movie, when it comes back from one of those commercial breaks, you think that the action's wrapping up, and then they decide to go on a snowmobile ride. I mean, it just really keeps going here.
Yeah. The snowmobile ride scene. I mean, we can get to that. We can go a little bit more in order, but so yeah, here's his talks with Dennis Franz, and obviously he goes up to the tower. Well, you know, I'm getting ahead of myself. He does. Oh, you know what? It's because I lost a lot of my photos, but he does go and fuck with the guys in the. And that's another thing. Like, he's walking around the airport, smoking and like, you know, bullshitting, and just kind of sitting around, and he just sees 2 guys. You know, maybe he's racial profiling, maybe he's not, because one of them is an African American. But he sees them go into the baggage claim area, and he's like, fuck, there must be something big going on. So he like loads his gun, and then this guy's like, hey man, what are you doing? He's like, I'm a fucking cop, man. Open the fucking door. And he shows his badge. I don't think it works that way. Just because you're a cop in LA, like you just can't do whatever the fuck you want, John.
Yeah, and then he pimps that chick that works at the airport too and gets all
dude,
from her as well.
That was clearly there to show that he's got a lot more confidence than he did in the first one. You know, hair plugs, nicer sweater. You know,
that is a nice sweater.
He's walking around with a Quasi Cosby sweater.
In the first one, he has like a flirty glance with the stewardess when he's getting off the plane. Yet he's trying to be a good husband. You know, he's kind of separated. He doesn't know where he stands with his wife. He sees this hot girl, but he's like he's a good guy in the moment. He's like, I'm not gonna take that any farther. So it's kind of a moment that recreates that in a different way. And him obviously being the good guy again, and just the facts, ma'am. He's got the ring on and everything.
Yeah, he flashes the ring at her, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's like, just the facts, biatch.
Yeah, I'm married.
And
no, but it is a good thing.
I don't have a big problem with what feels a bit like a shoehorn moment to get Officer Twinkies back in the movie. I forget his name.
Powell. But it's definitely shoehorned. Yeah.
It's shoehorned, but hey, it works, and it helps. It does lead him down a path of investigation and stuff.
Yeah, no, the scene makes sense. He's there for a reason. He needs a police officer to help him, and it also shows that they stayed friends now that he's
I really like that little element of it.
Yeah.
I actually really like, even though Powell is one of the few returning members of the cast, although there's also William Atherton. I love this cast. I think this cast is kind of my favorite supporting cast of the Die Hard movies. I definitely like it better than any of the sequels supporting cast. I mean, there's a lot of fun in the supporting cast of the original. I don't know if I'm truly saying it's better than that, but in terms of sequels, this is my favorite supporting.
Oh, come on, dude! In the first one, you got the Kung Fu guy from all the Kung Fu movies.
That's what I'm saying. That one might still be the best overall cast of the series, but this is my favorite of the sequels in terms of its supporting cast as well. I love a lot of these characters and these actors, just in general, like Fred.
Me too. Even Marvin, like Marvin. Yeah. He went on to become kind of that guy was in a lot of shit after this movie, the guy that played Marvin. Like he became a character actor. He's like that guy. Like, I've seen that guy.
Most of them are, except for Dennis Franz, who kind of got a bit more recognition,
and Robert Patrick.
To your point, Ben, Marvin was played by Tom Bauer, and my notes next to him say he has a long resume of just so many movies. Yeah.
He shows up in so many things. Yeah. He's really good in this. Just like I said, McClane has a lot more help in this movie. Like he stumbles upon the basement. He gets help from the janitor. I'm sure. What is he? Is he the janitor of the airport or of like that little department? Because I would assume there'd be more than one janitor.
It says on the cast list, he's the airport janitor.
So there's only one.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what those bathrooms look like. I'm stretched really thin, guys. There's only one of me in this whole fucking airport. But
it was the 80s.
And it was kind of an interesting choice to use a real airport, too, like a real name. Like Dallas is an airport.
Yeah.
They could have used some fake name airport just to, like Nakatomi. That building's there, but it's not called Nakatomi.
Well, then they, of course, had to make up their own airline because you can't be using a real airline that crashes.
Right, but it's
230 people.
But it's crazy that they did use, even though a lot of the movie wasn't filmed in DC or at that airport. It's just interesting that they did choose to like use a named airport,
Sure.
Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. From a young age, I always knew that the airport in Washington, D.C. is called the Dulles Airport because of this movie.
I've been there. I said, can I go into the baggage claim area? And they said, no, you can't. And I held up my driver's license. I said, open the fucking door.
Plastic badge. And they opened it for you.
Hey, to John's comment too about the supporting cast, we got to shout out Colm Meaney, the Windsor pilot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude.
Con Air, Dick Tracy, Law Abiding Citizen, like
Star Trek Next Generation, Star Trek.
He's in Cliffhanger, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of Irish stuff too, because
that's also Rennie Harlin, though. So you got the connection there.
Totally.
And speaking of Rennie Harlin, I feel like he borrowed the set from Nightmare on Elm Street 4 to shoot all the boiler room scenes with Mars. And stuff. And it's got the same like steamy look as the shots in that movie.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a good
like
call.
I know a set. I know where we can shoot that.
You know what? That's probably where Die Hard got a lot of its, or Die Hard 2 got a lot of its interesting kills idea, like an icicle in the eye, because Rennie Harlan was super creative with those kills.
Rennie dreamed that up for sure.
Well, and he sets you up for the violence too. My favorite kind of line that caught me off guard, and then I had to remember the time period, is the old lady on the plane talking about she zaps her dog, and then it limps for a week. She's got the little cattle.
Well,
prod.
she talks about she zaps kids that fuck with her and try to take her purse. Yeah.
Oh, I thought she mentioned. My note said she talks about zapping a dog.
Well, she said she tried it out on her dog. She felt guilty for doing it, but still, who would do that?
But then when she talks about the people, she's like, I zapped the little fucker that messes with me or whatever.
Yeah.
She's had a lot of fun.
Like honestly, that whole little subplot that takes place on the plane to shoehorn in William Atherton again into this story. There's a lot of shoehorning in this movie,
and he hasn't learned a single lesson from the first one.
But I really like it. Like it actually works for what it is. For it's the tension that it adds by him fucking things up and making it more of a public situation. The tension that you get on the plane between Bonnie Bedelia and him, or some of the comedic elements of that, but there's also tension. Because he's the one that kind of alerts her to there's a bigger problem than what everyone's saying on this plane. I think it works, and he plays the role the way he always he really is the greatest douchebag asshole to ever grace cinema screens.
Really quick, is he the douchebag asshole in Ghostbusters?
Yes, he is. He's also the douchebag asshole in Real Genius.
He's so good. Go ahead. He's so good
at this.
Him and Holly, they even do have a moment where they give each other sides of the story of what happened in part one, which I love when sequels will elaborate on something. So she punches him for comic relief and for a bit of, satisfaction to the viewer because he fucking showed her family on camera. So she knocks him out, and that's great. And in the sequel, they're forced to be on a plane together, and they do have a little conversation about it. And she's like, listen, asshole, or listen, Buster, you endanger not only me and my husband, but my family. And it's like, it's great because they get it's not like they reconcile or become friends, but it's a great moment for her to be like, yeah, do you not think you deserve that? And of course he doesn't learn his lesson, but
no, he's a typical egotistical self. He's like, but I intrigue people. That's what I do. I
see things, Miss McClane. Things other people don't see. Yeah.
But and then so to the point of this whole show is the same shit happens to the same guy twice type of Christmas. They do recreate the moment, but in a different way of her having to punch him out, but instead now it's with the zapper. The moments are recreated, the moments are repeated, but they're different enough, fresh enough, in my opinion. Sequelitis is something that we've seen for 40 years of our lives. Our whole cinema watching life has been filled with sequels that are trying to recreate the magic of a first film. And I think that this one does a really great job of hitting the beats that people want, but making them feel a bit fresh.
And I've heard people, not criticisms, but more like observations that, part 3 is where it dropped off because it no longer took place on Christmas. I'm like, how many capers do you want this guy to be involved in on Christmas? We're already pushing it in part 2.
And then they kind of try to reset it a little bit by doing one on the 4th of July, hey, it's on a holiday, everybody, when they do the 4th film. But yeah, it doesn't need to be on a holiday. And I'm glad the 3rd film did not try to recreate the exact same he's stuck in a confined location, Die Hard type of story. This one did just the right things and had just the right setting to make it believable that the same guy got involved in a similar situation without it being a personal attack. The 3rd film had to go there, and it made more sense to be like, okay, the threat finds him and puts him in the crosshairs.
Yeah. And you can almost argue that Die Hard 2 is the one that actually started the brand of Die Hard on a boat, Die Hard on a plane, because I think people waited until the formula was successful twice.
Yeah.
You know, with Die Hard and Die Hard 2, because you didn't get a Die Hard ripoff in between these two movies.
I think in
they started flying out in the 90s, you know.
I think in the same year we have Toy Soldiers would be the closest to like trying to capture that magic at the same time that Die Hard 2 was.
That might have been 91 though.
It might have. I'm not 100% sure on my years on that one.
Yeah. I like Toy Soldiers. It's fun.
Next Christmas. I hope next Christmas we're doing our Die Hard knockoff showdown. That's supposed to be next Christmas.
I'm game.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's talk about how I kept that photo in there because I wanted to be reminded of it. So McClane has fame, you know, a little bit of fame, notoriety, like from the Nakatomi thing, but it's now been 2 years. It's on the East. He's back on the East Coast. You see people like news reporter knows who he is. Colonel Stewart obviously recognizes him.
Well, he's in Newsweek or whatever. What's the magazine that all the terrorists read?
Captain Lorenzo recognizes him.
Yeah, but and Dennis Franz does, but he just doesn't care. So you get that like, I know all about your Nakatomi bullshit or whatever, you know. Yeah. But having that be something that happens, and him getting that, you know, sort of recognition for it. I'm not saying like this airport should have entrusted everything into John McClane once the situation happens, but you would expect maybe they would let him stay in the room during some of the conversations. Not that this guy survived a terrorist attack in a building, so maybe he should be here. Some people would say that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, you know, he's already up in the tower. You guys are going to have a secret meeting. Why is he not allowed? Like, just let him go. Like, you know, 2 years ago, he dealt with something kind of similar, you know, but I don't know. I just feel like the authority figures in this movie treat him like almost like he's not even a cop. Like, get the fuck out of here. You're a piece of shit. When he's the only one, even though he's doing stuff the whole time to save people and blah, 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 they always just kind of just disgrace him the whole time.
Well, and I think the guy who's in charge of the control room, Fred
Thompson. I love that guy.
Fred Thompson's so good.
Fred Thompson. Good. Didn't he become a politician? He did, right?
Yeah.
He became a senator from Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, that sounds right. I see him as such a, like, I don't know, like by the numbers kind of guy that it does make sense to me that he'd say these conversations are not for you. They are for the people who need to hear them, who are part of this, you know, facility and establishment. And we're getting calls from whoever that's going to explain shit. And we will come out and talk to you about it. Like, I feel like that's probably the way it should have gone, is like, we'll go have our conversations. You can stay over here. We'll come fill you in as much as we can. And I think from a screenplay standpoint, some of that tension of kicking him out would be so he could go off and do a little bit of an actual fighting adventure to keep the blood pumping for us action junkies within the story. And then he can come back after that, you know, situation and get filled in and have another conversation with Fred Thompson and Dennis Franz and all that, and then go out and do another action scene or whatever.
Right.
That is kind of what happens. He kind of comes and goes. And each time he leaves, he goes and does something heroic and action based.
But I mean, Dennis Franz obviously is the exception, because every time McClane saves lives or foils some problem, he's just, you fucking crazy idiot. He's just screaming at him no matter, all the way till the end, pretty much, you know? So he's probably just either again, like.
Same shit happens to the same guy, you know, in the first film. That was a source
Deputy
of
Chief
all of his
Dwayne.
Yeah, the Chief Dwayne, you know, they're just, they're doing the same thing, just a little different.
I like, you know,
not so different, but.
But I love it because what's his name? Carmine. So Carmine he's very different than Deputy Chief Dwayne Robinson. Yeah. I love them both so much. I love them both, but I think Dennis Franz gets.
They both have played iconic roles outside of the Die Hard series as well. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously they're playing the same insert character, but Dennis Franz. Even though, remember, John, a couple years ago we saw Die Hard on the big screen, and we were like, man, I don't remember this being so funny. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah,
a lot of it,
comedy on the big
a lot of it is him.
You know? Yeah.
Dennis Franz is the same way.
And I would definitely say, I mean, I didn't get the chance to watch Die Hard 2 on the big screen anytime recently. I did see it when I was younger. This is one of those movies that I was right at that age to be like, I'm seeing the R-rated movies now. I don't care what anyone says. So I did see it on the big screen. It was great. But yeah, this one definitely doesn't have the same sense of humor that the first one did. And from what I've heard, McTiernan wasn't that interested in making Die Hard until he was told he could make it a little more lighthearted and comedic. And so there's probably a lot of that to credit to him, or him pushing the screenwriter, or him allowing the actors to ad-lib things enough that humor came out. Where in this one, who knows how it went down? Maybe it all came from the script, because there is some humor in it, but it's not on the same level. Like Die Hard 1 in the theater felt like a true action comedy. It had never felt like before.
No, and a lot of it's Alan Rickman, a lot of it's Dwayne T. Robinson, a lot of it's the gullible FBI guys. But yeah, the second one is very serious. You couldn't. We say this a lot, but I don't think you could make this movie now simply because of the 9/11. And you do have. Well, I don't know. I think people are kind of just doing whatever they want now, but maybe 15 years ago,
I think you could.
Yeah, you probably could, but it was like, I remember as a kid in this scene, just fucking traumatized, man. Like they're just, Dillis Tower, we got you. Just like this scene was nuts.
I feel like this scene, again, if you're like trying to, relate scenes from each movie and how they kind of compare to each other, I feel like this is kind of like, I'm forgetting his name. It's not Nakatomi. What's the CEO?
Takagi.
This is kind of like Takagi being killed. It shocks your system when you see that in the first film.
Only this is like 199 people more.
Yeah, no, they're raising the stakes and they're going harder. So
no, absolutely, yeah, it is Die Harder. Yeah, that's true.
Well, and really quick, this one has the most deaths compared to all of them by a long shot. This one has 230 die in the plane crash, and then 40 other people die. And then the first one's only 23, followed by 16, 31, and 33. So this one just blows it out of the water as far as.
Oh yeah, I mean, on screen, like shoot 'em up deaths. This one still has more than two, or has more than one.
And this one technically has 2 planes full of people exploding. I mean, it's not that full, but at the end, all the soldiers, that's a group of
there's 20, 30 people in that other one. Yeah. No, there's a lot of deaths, man. But I mean, even that scene, the SWAT team scene, dude, like, Robert Patrick sitting duck, and like they just start blasting all the. I mean, dude, I don't think a single SWAT team member does a fucking thing. They just get killed immediately.
But I think that's a really good Die Hard template style scene. Like,
that's
his ingenuity.
He comes through a fucking vent. Yeah.
That's the kind of scenes I want from my Die Hard movies. And some of the sequels have action scenes that don't quite play out like this, where they're big, exciting action scenes, but they just don't have that raw intensity of him just fighting and scrapping to do anything he can to defeat a guy 5 feet from him or whatever.
I do think 3 has that really awesome scene in the elevator.
That's my favorite moment of 3.
It feels like it's right out of part 1.
That's my favorite moment of 3.
Yeah, that scene is awesome. Very raw, but yeah. I love this. Is another scene that kind of fucked me up as a kid, just watching all these like SWAT guys just get taken out so quick in like brutal ways. But then you get a guy, and this is debatable. You guys can tell me what you think. What's his name? The sidekick, semi-sidekick. He can't act.
His name, but I like him. I
don't think he's a very good actor after rewatching this.
Oh. I don't know. I think he's acceptable.
There was a lot of lines that he said watching this as a kid where I thought they meant one thing because of the tone he decided to say them in. Like, I thought, okay, there's a moment in this movie where I thought
it's got everything we need. It's got everything.
There's a moment where when I was a kid, I thought he said fartacy. What is a fartacy? He used the motherfucking fartacy. And then I watched it again. I'm like, oh, I think he's saying he used the motherfucking fire to see. But the way he says it, he used the motherfucking fartacy. That's how he says it in the movie. And then rewatching,
Maybe you're watching one of those TV edits.
No, this is on my Blu-ray. Like,
I know.
so when rewatching it, I'm like, I think he's okay. He used the fire to see. Okay, now I get it. As a kid, I was like, what is a fartacy? He used the fartacy? What is that? You know,
That's why you need to watch with subtitles now, Ben. We're getting
no, I'm not gonna watch an action movie with subtitles. Fuck that.
Yeah, and for the time, like we were saying, early 90s, late 80s, the death of the guy that's at the church, the priest at the church when they take over the church.
That's another shocking one.
I mean, just point blank, happy holidays, 2 to the chest. Sleep
And he
tight.
even has to say something smarmy before he kills the poor guy too, you know.
Yeah,
but
that was
again,
brutal.
You know, when you're connecting what happens in part 1, that's them walking into the building and shooting the security guard while pretending to have a conversation about the Lakers to keep him kind of off guard, waiting for them to stop talking before he says anything or does anything, and they just bam, you know, before he knows what's going on.
You're right. That's Sunshine, right? The guy in part 1, isn't that Sunshine from Top Gun? Is it Sunshine or Sunrise or whatever?
I just know that the guy that takes over looks just like Huey Lewis, but he's not Huey Lewis.
No, not dude. I thought that was Huey Lewis. Forever.
I still think it is.
Yeah.
I don't remember a call sign from Top Gun being Sunshine.
He's the black dude who like gives Maverick a hard time because he disengages.
That guy, that guy is the guy.
He's the guy that opens the safe.
The tech.
He's the quarterback is toast. He's that guy.
Oh wait, the guy that gets him that like
quarterback is toast.
Yep. Yeah. So it's not sunrise. It's something. It's like.
That sounds right, though.
It doesn't matter.
Sunset, maybe. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, Die Hard 2. Oh, okay. Here's a little fun fact for you.
I love fun facts.
Yeah, this is Fred Thompson looking at the economy of his home state.
Of that, is that when the plane's hitting the ground, basically?
Yeah, that's when the plane crashes. Yeah. And here's
fucking awesome.
Here's fucking Colonel Stewart sucking his own dick after that. Like, yeah, man. And here's all the people. Here's the old granny.
Yeah, the old granny.
Oh. They even made
they established her so you think people might be safe. You know, they specifically show you that there's a grandma, so you're like, oh, I'll feel bad.
That's the thing. They show the kids running through that scene is like as to establish how fucked up this situation is. Yeah, and you'll see, please. The kids are running through. Oh, it's Christmas! Yay, we're coming from the UK to America. Boom! Boom!
Oh man!
Merry Christmas! And there ain't nobody surviving that shit. That thing fucking blew up 15 times. Yeah. Anyway, so then they bring in. This is where we get Mr. McDowell from Coming to America, who I love very much. I always forget his name, but I love him. John Amos. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. Yeah, John Amos.
I'm pretty sure Tori Amos helps me remember that, but yeah, okay.
I just always call him Mr. McDowell because he runs McDowell. But you know, I mean, even as a kid, I knew these guys were bullshit, didn't you? I mean, obviously they didn't keep it that much of a secret, but when they're all in the cargo truck or whatever, and they all switch to blue, and they make you see it. I think that was one issue I had with the movies. They should have shown you that they were putting in the blue mags, but it shouldn't have been so prominent because that just tells you right there. I think it would have been a nice detail to have so you can always claim, hey, this was happening. But they show them, they close up on all these guys putting in mags with the blue strap on it. And then, of course, they do the same thing in the church. And you're like, oh, I already know that.
And I'm sure that, you know, as a 13-year-old or whatever, when I saw this, I thought there was something fishy, but I didn't put it together until I think the film confirmed it for me. I probably didn't even really have much of a concept of blanks being a thing that, you know, that wasn't on my mind. But, you know, in hindsight, they telegraph it a bit too much. But I love that aspect, that double cross. I think that's
me too.
Aspect of the film.
I love it too. And
the point of, you know, this, we keep bringing up how this film is so much more brutal than the first film, that moment where the new guy that just got added to the team because somebody got appendicitis has to have his throat slit. Like, that's a wonderful villainous little moment.
Well, it's a wonderful that is, instead of just having them all load back up in the truck, the writers built this little piece in that scene where they're not just like, okay, guys, let's get to the landing strip. It worked. Instead of finding out that way, they find out because they've already planted this seed that there's this guy that's there that's never been with this group. And the way they just slit his throat, that kid gets a little bit of screen time even before that scene to establish it. I think he even talks to McClane at one point.
Yeah. That's how we learn that he's new. McClane like asks him if he trusts the colonel, and he's
really
like,
well
I don't know,
done.
I'm new to this, but if anybody can handle it, it's him, or something like that.
Really well done.
That's all he needs.
Yeah,
And
it's a
enough
great
for
way
us
to establish that, to find out like that they're bad. I thought that was a perfect little tool with that character in there, instead of just like, all right, it works, let's go, But at that point, I already knew because of the fucking blue strips on the mags, but I'm sure other people maybe not have noticed it.
But I really don't like so there's two little bits that feel really off to me. After McClane figures out with the bullets, then there's like this shot of him coming through the entire airport on a golf cart. And it's like, okay, I guess it could happen. But then eventually the golf cart seems like it's driving in the back hallways all the way up to basically the tower control room, like the entrance of the control room or something. That seems a little far-fetched that the cart is also in the back area. Yeah. But that's to keep us, like, from a filmmaking standpoint, the audience excited in this. This is the start of the third act or whatever. Yeah. And so they want to keep that energy going. So I get it, but it's very far-fetched. But the most far-fetched is McClane jumping out and unloading a full clip of
and nobody shoots him.
Cops pointing their guns at him, and not a single itchy trigger lets a bullet off that would have clearly just killed him.
It would have been just as effective. Hand him the gun and say, "Look at this clip. It's full of blanks." Him pointing it and shooting it at the airport chief of police, he would have been shot to pieces, dude, for doing that.
Yeah,
but I get it. He's John McClane. It's a Die Hard movie, but it's still really dumb. All he had to do was pull it out and say, "Look at this. They're blanks." That's it. But again, that's boring. It's funner that he shoots him. Hey, DJ Play Nice. Thanks for being here. Salute. Thanks for hosting. Hey, thanks for being here. Much appreciated. Happy holidays there, DJ Play Nice. Much appreciated, my friend. While we're at it, before I forget, we got to talk about my favorite of the TV edits. This one.
Yeah, let's see that. Oh, can I just add something really quick?
Yeah. Please.
We're looking for from Coming to America that plays Lisa's dad. That's John Amos.
John Amos, yeah.
John Amos.
Mr. McDowell.
We don't need any Monday morning quarterbacks.
Hey, forget Monday morning. My wife's on one of those damn planes these guys are fooling with. That puts me on the playing field. And if you'd have moved your fat feet when I told you to, we wouldn't be hip deep in snow right now.
That's
right?
What is that?
Dude, I'm telling you, it's fucking Bruno Kirby or Joe Pesci or I don't know. It sounds like a fucking like Super Mario or something.
It was great dialogue, though.
Oh, it's great.
We don't need any Monday morning quarterbacks.
Hey, forget Monday morning. My wife's on one of those damn planes these guys are fooling with. That puts me on the playing field. And if you'd have moved your fat feet when I told you to, we wouldn't be hip deep in snow right now. Right?
You can't even say fat ass.
I can't even imagine. Like, I think one of the reasons it's such a legendary TV edit is because, they would pop words in and out here and there. Like, motherfucker would be maggot farmer. Jesus Christ would be cheese and rice. But they're doing like full monologues of this guy. Like,
that puts me on the playing field.
Even you move your fat feet. A guy that I want to meet that fucking guy so bad, dude. Like, oh. TV edits are easy now because now they can just manipulate the exact same voice, run it through AI, and put it on. But what is a TV edit anymore? I don't even know if those exist. But well, we haven't talked enough about Colonel Stewart here. I mean, we have, but he had a tough mountain to climb here.
I mean, again, it's like part of what makes Die Hard the first. On the top of the mountain is Hans Gruber, and so. I mean, also McClane and everything about it, the whole movie. But Hans Gruber is such a special part of that movie. That yes, the because you still get John McClane being John McClane, so he doesn't, he's following up the first performance, and there certainly are moments, I'd say, in the first performance that are more standout than this one, like him in the bathroom, pulling glass out of his feet and all that stuff that humanizes him. There's a little less of that, obviously, in this film, but William Sadler had way of a more tough time to try and follow up Hans Gruber, and he does a good job. He's just a very good, he's menacing.
Yeah, very different. He's more of a physical. He's more of a physical opponent. Like, he kicks the shit out of McClane. Like, McClane doesn't even touch him, pretty much.
Yeah.
He bites him, but Hans Gruber didn't show his ass while doing yoga, so we got to give.
Could have gone without that scene too. What is the TV edit for that? Does he look like a snowman or something?
I think it's just zoomed in or something.
Oh,
but
right on the ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, he
on his fat feet.
He's lucky that they just portrayed it so differently. He's so like by the numbers, like a military guy. He's not this goofy English, bank robber guy. Like he doesn't have any jokes. He's fucking business, and he's a fucking like martial arts. He's a special forces guy.
Yeah,
so
he's ready to kill you, man.
Yeah. So it's not, watching this again, I was like, God, Die Hard 1, like the ending compared to the rest of the movie is very small. It's just it's almost like a draw, it's just him standing there. It's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant, but it's so small scale. And like this one, he's on the end of a plane. Everyone's like, oh my God. In the third and fourth, McClane turns into a superhero. Let's not forget that he's fighting on the wing of a giant.
No, but see, I think in this one, it's still okay. Maybe like the actual maneuver with the helicopter to drop him and him land and not slide off, like that stuff is a little far fetched.
Well, they all would have flown off those wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once he's on there, it feels, again, this is me going back to my analogy or whatever, my take on when I was a kid and I watched a person jump out of a airplane on a rubber raft and land in snow. It looked believable enough that my brain went, okay, I'm buying this. Well, this is shot in the same way that I buy these moments. But I love his spirit. This is another moment of that Die Hard, just John McClane grit and ingenuity of him being on this plane and being like, what if on the wing of a plane? Well, what do I have? I have my jacket. I'm going to use my fucking jacket to stop this fucking plane. And he does. Yeah. And then what am I going to do? I noticed that there's the fuel pump right there. Well, I don't need to do anything with it yet because I don't know what to do with it yet. But I certainly fucking noticed it. And now I'm in a fight. Okay, now I take out this fucking fat ass and drop him through the turbine and he's mush. What a fucking wonderful death that is.
It was a great
death. Now I've got the Colonel. I got to fight him. Oh, shit. I can't take him out, but I'm going to try because I'm John McClane and I'll do anything to fucking save my wife and fucking, stop the bad guys. Well, he makes sure that he fucking slides. I'm going to get kicked off this plane, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get kicked off right over there where the fuel thing is so I can grab it. You see him think this through while he's on the wing. You see him do that.
Yeah.
That's why he is the fucking greatest action hero, because you can watch the gears turn in a very realistic way and him plan out something he had no idea how he was going to accomplish it. Land on this wing and stop this fucking plane. I got a coat. I got a fucking thing over there. Like, it's just magic. He's so fucking cool in this scene specifically. And then take it a step further. That trail of fuel becomes his way to kill them. Light it on. I mean, that's unrealistic, but whatever. In a movie, I'm going with it. He lights it on fire, he blows them up, and he saves his wife and everyone else, all in one quick thinking. Got to be quick thinking on your feet. That's the magic of McClane.
Yeah, that's true.
This scene encompasses it magically.
He's very resourceful for sure. I wish when he was fighting Mr. McDowell, I don't like. I wanted McClane to come up with something funnier because he goes, "Too bad, McClane. I kind of liked you." And then he kicks him. "I got enough friends." He should have said something funnier, but nitpick.
Yeah, this one's not as funny.
Yeah,
is
I got enough friends.
Come on. I'm wondering if it's the same writer.
That's
I can't remember.
Probably not, because again, this as Danny was saying, based off of books, different director. I mean, it could have been. It could have been.
Well, I know D'Souza is involved. Who wrote? He had a hand in writing the first one, but I forget if he's the sole writer or not. Because
see.
the reason it has Valverde is because D'Souza, Steven D'Souza.
Valverde is his.
Speaking of another of a Valverde property that shows up in this movie, a new connection to the Valverde verse I never knew existed.
So both of the films were written by.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You were talking about
the films were written by Steven D'Souza.
Okay.
But the first one also was with Jeb Stewart, and then the second one had a gentleman by the name of Doug Richardson.
See, I think D'Souza came in after those other writers wrote the script and punched it up and added stuff. But there is a moment on the airplane with if I'm remembering this correctly.
Good call there, DJ.
There's a moment on the airplane with Holly and the old lady. I want to say it is the scene where they talk about the zapper. Either Holly or the old lady is flipping through a magazine, and you see an ad for Lethal Weapon or Lethal Weapon 2 or something. It's one of the Lethal Weapon movies that you can see a print ad in the magazine. So that establishes that the Lethal Weapon movies exist within the universe of Die Hard. But the actual property of Lethal Weapon already existed in the Valverde verse, which connects it to the universe of Die Hard. So it's more connection, but it was just funny to see that Lethal Weapon ad in the movie.
Yeah. Well, and also, you have Joe Pesci in the Lethal Weapon movies, and Joe Pesci clearly voices the TV edit of John McClane.
Exactly.
And he's in Home Alone too.
You were going to say something, Danny?
It's kind of going back to a point that I made earlier, but I think it's worth bringing up just because it's my favorite part of doing this show. Is watching how much actors have evolved throughout their careers now that I've been watching movies long enough to be able to see actors that aren't huge movie stars that have given amazing performances with ensemble casting great movies. And I think that's something that you see in William Sadler. I think it really made his performance in Die Hard 2, which I hadn't seen in 25 years, so good because I'm sitting there comparing him to the Hick in Shawshank Redemption. And his performance in Shawshank is just so good.
He's great in that.
He's
He's listening to the Hank Williams records. He's like,
he's not a star in that movie. He's a part of the crew. He's just like some prisoner, but he, that small part and how good of a job he does.
I love him in a 1994 movie called Freaked. If you guys haven't seen Freaked, it's highly underrated. It stars Alex Winter, written by Alex. Yeah, I love.
Not underrated by me.
Yeah,
he's great.
Made by the Idiot Box guys. Yeah, he's great in that. Everything except shoes. Die Hard in a theme park. Well, that's kind of like Beverly Hills Cop 3, sort of.
That's what I wanted to see. I forget when I came up with this idea. I remember telling Helmick about it, but I forget if it was before Die Hard 3 or after it. But I was like, I can picture him taking a job at Disneyland as a security guard. At Disneyland, there's terrorists swinging over the Matterhorn, and he's wearing a Disney ears on his jacket with security across the back, and that would be the intro shot. He's putting that on clearly, and I think this was before sudden death. So in my mind, I was like, and then there'll be the way they get it is they're dressed as the characters, and they get in the tunnels underneath, and we get to see all of that. I remember having all those ideas probably before.
How cool would it have been if there was an action shootout fight scene on Space Mountain because Space Mountain's completely black with the exception of the lights? That could have been fucking awesome. Yeah, but instead we got it in the form of Beverly Hills Cop 3 at the end.
Yeah. It was never going to happen, but
no, I think Sudden Death was 95.
Yeah,
it was one of Van Damme's kind of last things. Yeah,
and so was Die Hard 3. So I want to say I was thinking these ideas around 90. Pretty much after Die Hard 2, I started thinking of those ideas, but not like I was going to make that as a movie.
No, dude, we did the same thing as kids and teenagers, just mixing.
I
I always
did
thought
make
it
Home
was cool to
Alone
see John
3.
McClane and Jack Traven from Speed to somehow do a movie together. That would have been kind of cool. Remember, there was supposed to be Die Hard, or was it Die Hard? Yeah, Die Hard was supposed to. There was talks about this before Die Hard 4. It was going to be Die Hard and Jack Bauer from 24, Kiefer Sutherland, and it was going to be a crossover movie. And Kiefer Sutherland didn't want to do it because he's like, well, what am I going to be, like the supporting guy? Like I don't want to be in a Die Hard movie. I want to be in a 24 movie. So they never did it. But I guess there was talks and treatments written.
That could have been good.
Kind of cool in the 2000s.
Yeah. I think I heard it was going to be like 24 hours to Die Hard or something like that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what you get in 4, because it was kind of a techno terrorist thriller, might have been a little, kind of
the ideas for the script or something.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I really like 4. I wish 4 was R-rated, but it's okay. It's still
4 is good. He's still McClane. He's not in 5.
At least you got that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like 4 a lot too. It's really fun. But yeah, so as just like the first one, he gets Holly and he goes, he pulls his Rocky moment.
But I want to say, I feel like the best Die Hard movies, which are 1 and 2, in my opinion, end with him reconnecting with Holly, physically reconnecting with Holly, saving her, and then closing out with actually the same Christmas song at the end of both films. It's the same.
Yeah. I don't like, the one thing I don't like about 3 is the regression of his character. Because he's figured it out in this one. And then, 5 years later, he's back in New York and he's kind of a drunk and he's not with Holly. That kind of bums you out, but
it bums you out, but it's probably kind of realistic. I don't see him.
I don't see him lasting in LA. He's just not an LA guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this is one of the better fantastic action sequels. I have never agreed with it's a retread of the first one. It takes place in a fucking airport. All the scenarios are different. He goes looking for it instead of it coming to him. He's not barefoot. There's a lot
honestly, I think of all of the ideas that people have, that they have, that Hollywood has run with as Die Hard scenarios, this is a very unique one because it isn't that completely. It's very easy to go, this Die Hard plot, somebody stuck in a contained thing. How do we redo that? Well, a boat. Well, like those ideas are easy to come up with. This one, I think, took some creativity to make it feel like a typical we are trapped in a place, but you're not scenario.
That's another thing that Rennie Harlan
are that they are a building, a boat, a bus. I know you don't like that connection, Ben, but like there's still this confined thing that Passenger 57 actually in the airplane instead of the airport. The airport feels very unique to me and just like one of the better versions of a Die Hard plot.
That's all Rennie Harlan. I think he did a fantastic job of the fact that he's in an airport. He could leave the airport. He could go home and come back and get his update on the terrorists. But Harlan really makes it feel claustrophobic and that there is nowhere to go. And there's no other option, even though that's not true. So,
but it is because part of the beauty of the script and part of the beauty of forcing us to have the same guy do the same shit twice scenario. That's what we want from a sequel. The beauty in that is we need Holly in this story. And they do, and that works so perfectly just to make her a passenger on one of these planes. It's all you needed to do to make that connection and now make all of his trials completely believable on the ground.
And I could see somebody's argument of, well, it's Holly again, but the writing makes it make perfect sense. I never thought that like, oh, she shoehorned in, he has to save Holly again. He's at a fucking airport. He's waiting for someone. I mean, it could have been Holly and the kids. Maybe that might have been even more interesting. Who knows? But but I think it works just fine. And I agree with you 100%. Like that's what and even a guy like McClane, as we find out in the other movies afterwards, 3 and 4, he doesn't need a personal connection. He's just a guy who thinks he's the only man that can. He only trusts himself to do it, and he's always going to do what's right. Part 3, he doesn't. I mean, yeah, he's getting thrown around.
You got to share the Ghanaian posters. They don't have one for Die Hard 2, sadly.
Part 4, McClane literally has no stake in what's happening. He could walk away at any time, but he doesn't.
Doesn't his daughter get kidnapped eventually?
That's not till the end. That's not till the end. Anyway, do you guys want to move on to Home Alone? Should we do final thoughts on Die Hard 2?
Sure.
Would Danny go first?
Are we gonna take a break in between too?
Well, we're live, so you can, if you need to run out real quick, we can hold the fort down, but we can't really leave it like empty.
Okay.
But if you need to run out, by all means, go for it.
Okay.
But do you want to give your final thoughts on this first, and then while John and I are giving our final thoughts, you can go do whatever you need to do.
Sure. I really enjoyed it. It was entertaining, but it's one of those movies that if I see it on TV, I'm not going to stop and watch it, like Home Alone 2.
Wow.
It's fun, but it's just not my style of movie. After a while, the violence just gets to be a little overwhelming and boring after you've seen it. But from a production standpoint and the time that it comes from, what a blockbuster movie this must have been when it came out. I mean, people were probably walking out of this movie so excited to see it.
Yeah, I agree. Are you here, John, or did you take a breather too?
I'm here.
Do you want to give? I'll give final thoughts real quick because I'll be super short. I think I might have seen this movie as many times as I've seen the first one because as a kid I just watched it all the time. I'm fine with the fact that it's not quite as much of a Christmas movie. I love it that it's at an airport. I love it that it's in the snow. I love it that we get a different McClane. A little more confident, a little more clean cut. And I like that the scenario has flipped where now he wants to be part of this, and obviously because of Holly, but he's not stuck doing it. And I agree with Danny a little bit that it's not these days. I rewatching it last week, I didn't quite enjoy it as much as I remember enjoying it as a younger guy, but it's still one of the better action sequels of all time. So yeah, I love this movie.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
You mean don't you mean
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Yeah, that one didn't show up on the soundboard. I need to look up TV edit soundboard. That would be amazing if I could find that.
I'll make you one.
Yeah. My final thoughts. Die Hard, the first one, is in my top 6 favorite movies. It's my number 6 favorite movie. But I am realizing on this rewatch, I was so entertained by this movie. I freaking love this movie. It's definitely a movie that when you compare it to the original, there are some flaws and retreads that aren't as good. But I think, Ben, kind of like you're saying, like growing up on this movie, this is like one of those early first R-rated movies that I got to experience in the theater. So maybe it holds a special place in my heart for that. But I just think it's a really great sequel. And, the reason why Die Hard, the original, I'm not the only one that feels this way, but the reason why I think it's the greatest action movie ever and why it's at number 6 on my list is because the concept is that fucking awesome, is that ripe for a great action movie. And I think this is the second best version of that story we've ever gotten. And so my thoughts about this movie while I was thinking about it for this review and thinking about something that I'm working on for my 50th birthday coming up next year, I'm going to talk about my 50 favorite movies. So I was trying to think where
that's going to be a long stream, but I'm up for it.
Yeah. So I was trying to figure out, what are my 50 favorite movies? And this movie is falling in the top 100. It is not going to be in the top 50.
Wow.
I can ruin that right now, but this movie is in my top 100 favorite.
Damn, that's pretty great.
And I think it's just the entertainment factor of it, because it's not, it's not high art. It is in the action. I think it's high art in the world of action cinema to some degree, but it's so fucking entertaining, and it's got John McClane at his second best, in my opinion, and so that's still worthy of a spot in some of my favorite all-time movies. Now I'm still working on that list. Maybe it'll slip in some way. I need to evaluate some other movies that are maybe not the ones I've watched a million times, but I know that they're really important, great movies that I love, but I only saw a few times. But yeah, at this point in time, Die Hard 2 is like one of my favorite movies, I feel like.
I love it. I love it. O-Dog, I have the room soundboard too. It's pretty fucking funny. I mean, it's, oh, hi, Danny. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
We need to use that when Danny gets back.
While we're waiting for Danny to come back, I do have one thing, and I forgot to mention it in my notes here. I have it. Stupid nitpick, but so General Esperanza he's an international drug lord, terrorist, whatever he's supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Why are they flying him into a public airport
on Christmas Eve or
instead of a military?
The worst travel day of the year, the worst storm.
John, there's 3 people on the plane aside from this war criminal.
I know.
There's 1 guard and 2 pilots. He should be going to Guantanamo Bay Airport.
Ben, Valverde is a very poor country. They can't afford more guards.
I'm telling you, man, like the fact that they're flying him into Dallas Airport makes no fucking sense. Hey, whatever.
Where was the military on site to?
They weren't even there. Like why did they have to call in the military? Shouldn't they have already been there?
Yeah.
Like, who was picking this guy up? That shitty ass fucking SWAT
Uber. He was getting an Uber.
Like, what were they going to do with him once they landed? Oh, man. Yeah, so that was my biggest nitpick of the movie.
All right, it's slipping out of my top 100. No, just
yeah,
kidding.
it should. It should from that. It should from that. Yeah.
No, this is definitely a turn your brain off at the door. Like, there's enough where you don't watch it stupidly with your brain completely off. But there are things that I probably watch this and go, whatever. I love Die Hard. It's acceptable.
And I never thought of that until this last rewatch, because the number of times I've watched this movie since we started the channel, John, is probably one other time.
Yeah.
And these days, my brain just thinks differently. I think 10 years of doing this show, everything is a critique.
Yeah. There are still times, especially a first viewing of a movie in the theater, a new movie, I'm able to watch it pretty let the movie be what it is.
Sorry, I misspoke. When I'm watching a movie for the first time, yes, but when I rewatch something, I fucking see.
But if it's something we're doing it for the channel, yeah, you put on a bit more of a critical eye and you see movies differently.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we love Die Hard 2. We're moving on to Home Alone 2, and I really quickly, I got to say, one of the things I noticed on this rewatch is they're called the Wet Bandits in part 1. They're called the Sticky Bandits in part 2. So we need a movie called Home Alone 3, Wet and Sticky.
Oh,
just saying. Does he ever actually do this in the movie?
I know he's aftershave, John.
Oh, the aftershave, because I know he screams a lot.
But does he do it in the second one?
No, he does not.
No, but he screams a lot. Yeah, yeah. And he goes into a pool for some reason with a bunch of old people and takes his clothes off.
Well, since you're jumping to that scene, I love my movie locations. Just so you know, the Plaza Hotel in New York does not have a pool.
No, it does not. No, it does not.
The scene was actually shot at the Ritz-Carlton in Chicago.
A lot of this movie was filmed in Chicago. They do that a lot with New York and Chicago movies. Yeah, Duncan's Toy Chest, the exterior filmed in Chicago.
It's an office building, by the way.
Yeah, the interior, very interesting. It was a real toy store, but they rebuilt the entire thing and filled it. They restructured it because Chris Columbus wanted it to look magical, and it does. Like when you get inside Duncan Toy Chest, you're like, I've never seen a toy store. Most of the time, toy stores look like fucking Walmarts. There's shit all over the ground, fucking half-open toys and baby shit everywhere. Like
that's a part of the magic of this movie.
It is. And let's get into that because we'll keep the same. So I'll jump in real quick.
Sure.
I think I'm almost tied. This movie and the first one for me are almost a tie. I think the first one is just a genius Chris Columbus movie with a brilliant score, which basically John Williams recycled for the Harry Potter movies. It's very close, but I don't know, man. I love this second one. Like there's, and again, it has that shift of there's a lot more happening because we have scenes in the city, scenes in the hotel. Like Kevin interacts with way more people. That's why I wanted to do these two. Just like Die Hard 1 and Die Hard 2. He's not just alone in a house with his thoughts. Like there's people everywhere. There's the hotel concierge. There's so many interesting characters in this.
And just like Die Hard 2, this movie, the supporting roles and supporting actors in this movie are all brilliant. Like
just like Die Hard 2, Tim Curry's doing naked yoga in this movie,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I find it, I love the first one because it is that house. That house is so interesting and a character on its own. And this one kind of cops out in the end. And instead of him using sort of New York City things to fight the bad guys, he just goes to an abandoned thing. That's the one kind of weakness, even though that scene's really fun. He should have used New York City as a way to kind of set his booby traps, but that would have been too much. But yeah, I just rewatching this movie, I just thought it was so funny. I thought Daniel Stern he's fucking shooting 3-pointers this whole movie. Yeah. He's kind of running circles over Joe Pesci just for how much fun he looks like he's having in this one. Because Joe Pesci's like, fuck, I just got my Goodfellas Oscar. Like, fuck this. I guess I got to do this movie. I mean, he's still giving it his all, but Kevin's just barely older, and Macaulay Culkin plays him just a little bit. Culkin just plays him a little bit differently, which is great. It's exactly what he should do. He was a good child actor, really good child actor. But yeah, I got to put this one like neck and neck with the first one. That's how much I enjoyed rewatching it. Fuck, it's so fun.
But it's hard to even put them. For me, it's hard to put them neck and neck because you obviously don't have the magic of number 2 without the premise of number 1.
Well, yeah. Well, that's with any.
Yeah, sequel. But I think this is the best sequel ever. I think it's one of the best sequels ever made.
John, you look like part of that poster right now, by the way. Like it looks so natural. You're just like perfectly placed.
Except he's a stinky bandit.
That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to put my head where
no, it was perfect. It was perfect. Yeah.
You look good with bangs, John.
That was a compliment saying you look like you're part of the poster. But no, that's great though, Danny. Like it is a great sequel. Like you can, it's a Home Alone movie. Who cares? Like, no, it's one of those sequels that ups everything. Gives you more characters, more scenarios. And again, there's
a lot like Die Hard 2.
You'll be surprised how many people say this is beat for beat the same movie as the first one. I'm like, I'm confused. Isn't he in his house in the first one?
Not even close.
He doesn't even get to the airport in the first one. So already it's different,
Yeah, I would say, there are definitely similarities between just like in Die Hard 1 and Die Hard 2, there are like character versions of what you had in Home Alone 1 that you get a different version in this one that is filling that same role. But I think that Die Hard 1 and Die Hard 2 have more similarities than I would say Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2 do.
I would totally agree. Yeah.
I think that there's it just feels like a somewhat different movie to me. Like I think that the setting and scenario in Die Hard 2 really sets it apart from Die Hard 1. Whereas this one does that as well, but I just think that the characters feel different in this movie. There's just a lot of things that feel different. I think all of the stuff going on at the hotel with Tim Curry and Rob Schneider and some of those characters is kind of a subplot that isn't necessarily a part of the original film.
And some of the funniest shit in this movie.
Yeah. So in the conversation about these being the same, the same shit happens to the same guy twice, Christmas show, I think this one it's got a lot of similarities to the original, but I think it feels like a different movie more than Die Hard 1 and Die Hard 2 do.
And that actress on the left, that's Dana Hart. Her name's Dana Ivey. She's been in a ton of stuff too.
I always thought she looked like a turtle. Like,
yeah.
If you look at her like mouth, it looks like how a turtle mouth is.
She's so good in that.
She is, man. To address Owen's question, I don't think John Candy. No, John Candy's not in the second one.
He is not.
That would have been cool though, because he's really funny in the first one. Yeah, we sold I think 678 copies of our record. Pretty good.
And to that point, like
in Kenosha,
in Die Hard 2, they would find a way to have a cameo for John Candy as they did for Al Powell, but in this one they didn't force that.
Yeah, well, and it would have been a total just cameo because it wouldn't have added any. I mean, he's just a polka guy driving across the country. Yeah. I mean, like we said, Powell contributed to the investigation for a scene. But yeah, you're right. You're right. I think Tim Curry and Rob Schneider and the Turtle Lady are some of the funniest things in this movie. I think this movie is a lot funnier than the first movie.
Yeah,
it's definitely funnier because again, it has more supporting cast. Rob Schneider's hilarious. I love the little sleaze bag he is. Do people really do this? The give me money because I brought your bags up.
I think now it's just all electronic, so they just force it. Now instead of waving their fingers, they go, "It's going to ask you to answer a question."
Yeah, something like that. But I think those three work so great, and those are new characters that aren't replacing characters from the first one. Like there were no concierge, obviously he does the filthy sluts with guns video again, but it's in a totally different scenario and stuff like that in this one.
In this one you had to have the entire cast coming back. Like you had to have the mom and the dad. I mean, I think one of the siblings got switched out, but bringing everybody back for this one, keeps it in that world and just keeps the magic alive because you wanted to know what's going to happen after that first one. You're so invested.
And I just rewatched the video John and I did of the first one when it was part of our home invasion holiday mixer, and John had brought up that good detail of like the pizza fight is what makes them kind of misplace an airline ticket in the first one. Goes in the trash when they, clean the counter or whatever. I like the detail in this one that because Kevin has his dad's bag, which has all his credit cards, you see them in this like flea bag shitball motel in Florida. And a lot of people would be like, well, why are they in that? Isn't he rich? It's because Uncle Frank had to pay because he doesn't have his money. And it's like,
and they do establish, they do establish a few lines that help set all those scenarios up.
Right. But it's still a good thing that it
looked a lot, but it looked a lot better on our honeymoon.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to point that out. Like, that's like, Ben, to your point. Yeah. I think this movie has I don't know if I think it's the funnier movie because some of the jokes don't land for me or at this, like seeing it now a bit older, some of it's just a little hammy or something. So it's not necessarily the humor that I laugh at. But I guess I agree. It's like, it's a funnier movie. It's got more attempts at humor and like moments like checking in with the family, I think are better in this film than they are in the first film when they're in Paris or whatever. In this one, they're stuck in Miami. The rains come down. They're having a terrible Christmas. They're stuck in that shitty hotel. And there's just, I forget what some of the other moments are, but when they check back in with the family, they're genuinely like moments of humor that aren't necessarily in the first film and are actually kind of creative and fun little check-ins with the family because you need that like break from, okay, what's Kevin doing? Let's just all it takes is 1 second to check in with either the mom on her travels or the rest of the family stuck in Miami. And and then get back to Kevin. So you need that from a pacing standpoint, but those little check-ins I think are typically always really funny in this movie.
Well, and the fact that the family is not knowing where he is makes so much more sense in part 2, because I've always thought in part 1 it's like, just call the cops. Okay, no one seems to be here. Okay, well then call an outside, call a neighbor. I know they're looking through their books and they're calling people, but there's got to be a way where someone can go in the house and find the kid. The second one, they don't even know where the fuck he is for half the movie. Yeah. So it's a little more realistic that they're still just sitting in this hotel because they don't know what to do. Where in the first one, it's like, okay, we just flew to fucking Paris and our son is still home in Chicago. Yeah, I know it's Christmas, so it's hard to get out of here. I just refuse to believe that there was nothing they could have done and no one they could have called, even though you get the guy with the donut falling on his phone and that fucking guy just, you want us to go to your house.
Yeah.
Just to check on it.
Or he keeps transferring her back and forth to like the crisis helpline and shit.
Yeah, it should have been a thing where it's like, send all units. There's a 10-year-old in there.
Well, really quick, for such like kind of a cheesy story or unrealistic story, the writing is so great, and the setup and the foreshadowing in this movie. Like when the whole family leaves the house in the morning and then they get in the van and, you don't see Kevin come out of the house because he's already in the van. Yeah. And then when they land, I think one of the most clever shots and the funnest part that really gets the movie going that he's missing again is the scene with the luggage where they're like, pass this to Kevin. And it goes all the way down the line of everybody. This is for Kevin. This is for Kevin. Then it gets to the end. Kevin's not here. Kevin's not here. And works it all the way up so the mom can scream and pass out again. It's magic.
See, I didn't really like anything that happens from the moment they get to the airport. It was a little too hard to buy into on this viewing. I mean, it's fine. It's when you're watching a sequel, you accept things that happened in a previous movie and just kind of run with it and say, okay, we need a scenario that gets him lost. It's fine. I'm accepting of it. But there's a little bit too much compounded of, I need the batteries to work this machine. So he gets the bag, and then that puts him behind them enough that he gets confused of whose jacket, and he's able to follow that jacket onto the plane. And of course, like, I guess the one thing I do like from the writing standpoint is him running into the woman with all the tickets, which is just a retread of the first film of, mixing up the tickets. And that's how they're not able to check him. Because that would have been a clear moment of just like, your ticket says you're supposed to be on a different flight.
Yeah.
So, and then like it's hard with a post 9/11 brain to watch any of this stuff go down where they just let someone on a plane who doesn't have a proper ticket. And even when he gets in, they're like, do you see your dad? I see a brown jacket. So yes, go find a seat in the back. Like, that exists. There's just a seat back there. You need to have an assigned seat even back before 9/11. So there's some of the elements that get him on the plane and get him lost that
that's a good point, John.
Way harder to buy into than how the first movie takes place.
John, that is such a good point. There's an empty seat. That makes me think they missed an opportunity to have a spin-off movie where's the other kid that went to Florida on accident.
Yeah. But I think they're setting you up with all these kind of stupid things that you just talked about, but they're setting you up for like it's kind of a comic book movie. I mean, you're heading into comic book violence. The bad guys are kind of.
But you guys are. I'm not paused, but you guys are.
What happened?
Okay, I think everybody's moving again.
Yeah, no, everybody's reading.
You would like to move
polka.
Honestly, I think they could have worked in John Candy. Like, he could have been playing like a polka bar in Greenwich Village or something, and the mom could have been looking for Kevin and came across him.
He could have been shopping in the toy store.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah.
No, but you know what they could have had? They could have had Kevin meet him, but not know that there's a connection. I was
going to say, he could have been in the place of the crow lady or whatever.
Well, that would have been way better.
By the way,
she is the worst element of the movie.
Well, when Kevin walks into the toy store for the first time, there's a guy holding his kid doing shopping. That's Chris Columbus's cameo. That's him and his daughter.
Yeah. Yep.
Should we bring up the other cameo in the movie? or we don't want to talk about the elephant in the room.
I mean, he negotiated it. Yeah, I mean, he's
Well,
in there.
Real quick before you get to the other cameo, I know who you're
You
talking
don't have
about.
to. Everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, he said you're not using this hotel unless I'm there, obviously. But
yeah, then there was a
John brought up such great points when we did the Home Alone 1 thing, and one of those was like, you do have your setup and payoff. And the first one, the power goes out in the middle of the night, so their alarms don't go off. Second one, they just don't wake up, and then of course they have to. And I know it's for the kids. We did it again. I get it. It's for the kids.
What
it's
didn't
funny.
the power go out again or something? Am
I don't did it. I don't think it. I don't know. But my point is like then in the second one you have to come up with a scenario. Okay, well now he's in the car. He's with everybody. So you get that early plant where he's playing with that thing that
Talk Boy.
One of those, which the movie was advertising hardcore.
Which actually it did not exist until the movie, and then they made one afterwards because.
Oh, I thought that they were doing that to promote. Okay, but so he wants that now. I want that, Dad. Where is it? It's in my bag. And then like you guys were saying, he sees a guy with a brown coat running, so he follows him. Why wouldn't he? Yeah. All these little good setups, and they all make sense as to why the scenario became what it was. Like it wasn't. They weren't lazy with like, especially when you're doing a sequel, you have to be like, how do they lose this kid again? Well, they didn't lose him in the first one. They just forgot him. And this one, it's more his faults because he's not paying attention to where he's going. Sure, the family's running because they're a bunch of idiots that can't wake up for some reason.
Yeah.
But those little details in the first and second one, I find them both reasonable as to like why these things happened when it could have just been because it's for kids. Super lazy and super simple, like they did with all 5 other fucking Home Alone sequels and whatever the fuck there was. They're just like the writers are just brain dead. It's just nothing burgers. And the first two, these 2 Home Alone movies, they go out of their way to give you details, even if the kids watching these movies don't even see those when they're young. So anyway, so I think cameo.
I do think they put their work in there to do some plant and payoff and make you, buy into a hard to buy into scenario. And that's why it is a great sequel. And that's why it works really well, like on the level of the first movie. When you're both of these scenarios, Die Hard and Home Alone, they are kind of very specific scenarios that are hard to say the same person would have happened to them again. And I think both these movies do a really good job of creatively giving us a reason why that same person would find themselves in that scenario.
Change location, scenarios different. And yes, or no.
He was still.
ODog, he died in 1994.
95 or 94.
94, so it's 2 years after this. Yeah. That would have been interesting, though, because I just remembered Uncle Buck, Macaulay Culkin, that was like one of his first movies, I think. Yeah. The Big Pancake. But yeah, they do just good. They do, again, they change the scenario just enough to where it's believable. But so Donald Trump's in this movie. And if you guys don't mind, since we're live tonight, I want to take this opportunity to give a quick tribute to Rob Reiner, who died.
Use this moment to, okay.
Yeah. You know what? It just reminded me of it. Yeah.
And his wife.
But yeah, no, I agree.
And his wife, obviously, in horrific fashion. But as far as Rob Reiner movies go, I know we're sidetracking real quick, but Few Good Men, Misery, Stand By Me for me. But
Spinal Tap.
This is Spinal Tap.
Well, I'll say this: Rob Reiner was diverse enough that he could have been the director of Home Alone. And I think you would have got a film very
never
similar
made
to what
never made the same thing twice, not even close. Yeah.
And he was so good in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, he had a really amazing run from Spinal Tap through like A Few Good Men or whatever it is. Amazing run.
Harry Met Sally, The Sure Thing. Like, dude, yeah, he was all over the place. So loved him, love his movies. Genius filmmaker. Meathead. Meathead was fun. So anyway, sorry, I wanted to do that earlier, but since we started talking about the cameo, it just reminded me of Rob Reiner for some reason.
And we don't have to talk about it. I made the joke of there's another cameo in the movie that people always bring up.
Well, this is when
there's nothing to say.
This is when people just thought of him as a billionaire, and he was just the billionaire back then. So it was always fun to see him pop up and stuff. You know, there was no divisiveness about it. It was just, hey, there's Donald Trump.
And actually, even though he negotiated himself into it and charged a fee for using the Plaza Hotel, they were still going to pull him out until they were watching test screenings, and all the audiences erupted when he showed up on screen. So they kept him in.
Hey, did we forget something again? Oh, what could it be?
Well, that's another part that I don't buy. Like, I don't buy his side of getting on the wrong plane, but I also don't buy that the mother
they didn't check,
would not get up during that entire flight and confirm that Kevin is on the freaking plane.
Well, and that's another thing.
Much less any of her other children. Just like at one point, walk the aisles and go see how your kids are doing.
They dropped the ball a little bit.
Specifically because of the scenario that happened a year before. You would get up and go wander the aisles to find Kevin. So
that's where
are you enjoying the flight, Kevin? You finally made it on the flight or whatever.
Well, not only that.
Don't drink too much soda.
Well, I love Catherine O'Hara in these movies because, like I said, when we did our first, the part one, John, I said she's kind of the heart of that movie because she's the mother and she's the one trying to get back to her cub, you know. But the second one, they do kind of where the writing fails her a little bit. Is you're right that they should have written her as someone that's constantly making sure he's there and constantly like clinging on to him, but she's not. She just puts him right back up in the fucking attic again. You know, it's you know, and she even says like, "Well, you got your wish last year. You want that?" Like, she would have been like, "You are at my side for this whole fucking time, and like, I want to make sure you're here." You know, but she didn't turn out in the sequel. Obviously, again, she becomes the one who goes and looks for him, but they should have maybe written her in the beginning as a little more obsessive about making sure he's there. And they just kind of make her the same as the first one where she barely remembers that even happened. You know? So.
Because they need him to get lost.
No, I know. I get it. But well, you still could have had him get lost, but just with her just not going, hey, did we forget something again? It should have just been like, where's Kevin? Where's Kevin? Where's Kevin? The whole time. And then they still lost him because this time it was his fault.
Yeah,
you know?
Because I guess what could have happened is all you would have to do is rewrite the scene where they find out he's missing to be like 30 minutes, an hour into the flight or something. Yeah. Yes, that would be like a weird scenario. Like, you're not going to say, can you turn the plane around? I don't know. In today's day and age, weird shit happens. But, you know, it would be acceptable enough to be like, she's figured it out. She's sitting on the plane trying to just like, well, I guess that's a retread of the first film. That's when she figures it out on the first film. Is she sitting on the plane? And then they have scenes where they're consoling her on the plane.
Yeah.
So they wanted to write it differently, and so they went the route.
Remember, he's like, I forgot to close the garage. That's what it is. That's what you're forgetting. Yeah. And he doesn't even seem to mind. I'd be freaking the fuck out if I was leaving for 2 weeks. I left my garage open, you know?
Yeah, but so she realizes it without actually physically going and realizing he's not there and seeing that. That could have been what replaces. You still have kind of a version of what Danny liked about like the bag being passed down. You could have had a thing where she's like walking the aisle and seeing one kid, the next kid, and like slowly the realization that she's not finding Kevin in a comedic way. You know, shoot it in a way where that comes across very comedic, like the bag toss. So you can still kind of get that moment, but not on the ground, because it's kind of unbelievable that she didn't notice until they've landed.
Josh, I agree with you. Again, I keep going back to when John and I did Home Alone 1. I said, why these people have this giant mansion in the suburbs of Chicago, beautiful white snowy Christmas, and they keep going to these fucking weird ass destinations everywhere. The first one, they explain it. They're dropping the daughter that's going to study in France. They're bringing her to his brother's, and they get a free trip out of it. Why they're in Florida? Danny, you've seen this movie a gazillion times. Remind me, why did they go to Florida? Did they not already have hotel plans?
My guess is that's being a snowbird. When you live in I mean, Ben, you spent time in Chicago. If you live in Chicago all year round or live in New York all year round, often you want to go to Florida or California or whatever to get a couple weeks in the sun during the winter. So I think that's all that was meant to be. But that's the joke, that when they get there, it's like a hurricane and it's rainy and it's terrible.
No, okay, I'll take that into consideration because we're Southern California people.
Yeah.
The idea of going to a snowy white Christmas sounds amazing to us.
Yeah.
So I get that.
It's waiting for them when they get home.
Not to me. I want to golf on Christmas.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, like, okay, well, I mean, different people. I'm not saying everybody, but like, my two favorite Christmases of all time were in Chicago because it was snowing when I woke up in the fucking morning. It was awesome, you know. But yeah, I get what you're saying, but there's no case in the world that would make me want to go to Florida. France, sure, you know, but not Florida. But
yeah.
Swamp Christmas.
So really quick, I want to go back to the Plaza Hotel.
Yeah. Oh, is that the electrocution?
Yeah. He's so good. He's so good.
It just goes on.
I love it how you have the audio kind of condensed, or you just hear him screaming. I also like when he gets the paint on him and they cut to him. He's like, "Ah!" Yeah, it's pretty funny too. Anyway, Danny, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say for the Plaza Hotel scenes, that's a funny scene too, where he's like, "You smell that, Marv? It's freedom." No.
You know, from the look of this shot, you guys, I was saying like Daniel Stern is just so invested. I think he might have been on crack or something while he was making this. Maybe he was so much more animated and over the top because he was on some narcotics. I don't know.
Who knows? But
he was on all that snow he got from making the first movie.
That's right. So going back to the Plaza. So the scene, because there is some physical comedy when Tim Curry drags Schneider across the floor. Like, come on, Cedric, and he grabs him and drags him.
Cedric.
Yeah, or when Macaulay Culkin slides into the elevator, there used to be large area rugs in front of those elevators, but they removed them so they could film that scene. And then the management of the hotel liked the new look so much that they just kept it that way. Little fun fact. And then also, that's the actual phone number that he records. So when it's like, you know, for the ultimate hotel experience in New York, call the Plaza. Normally it's a fake phone number they give out.
Usually a 555 or some shit.
Yeah, but that was actually the real number to the reservation line to the Plaza.
No way.
They saw their calls and reservations increase after this movie came out. And to this day, you can book a Home Alone package at the Plaza Hotel that comes with a giant sundae, ice cream sundae, and it also
do you get to watch Filthy Sluts with Guns in your hotel?
Yeah, and you also get to go on a limo. You also get to go on a limo ride with a cheese pizza.
Oh, that cheese pizza!
I knew that.
Yeah,
dude, that cheese pizza when he opens and the steam comes out, you're like, oh,
so good. And I just want to mention the actor Ralph Wesley Foodie. He's the old gentleman in those Angels with Filthy Souls movies. He died in 1999, but he had a long, illustrious career. He was in a lot of stuff, man. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. He was fucking great in those. Like just being able to do that, like, and
so good.
Killing the chick in the second one. It's just like fuck.
And those are actually both of those films that they made for the movie, because I don't think everybody knows.
Yeah, they're fake. Yeah.
They made them for the movie, but it's actually a parody of a 1938 Warner Brothers film called Angels with Dirty Faces. So.
Hey John, it looks like Daniel Stern
is it Angels with Dirty Wings?
So the first one is Angels with Filthy Souls, and then the second one is Angels with even
filthier souls. Yeah. John, it looks like Daniel Stern's about to grab your head.
Again, I planned that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, yeah. And that when the actor John Hurt is on the plane, he's reading a book about angels. The title of the book he's reading is like Angels something. It's not like Angels in the Outfield, but might as well be. So wanted to throw that out.
Angels and Demons.
I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
1, 2, 10.
10.
Get out of here, you nosy little pervert, or I'm gonna slap you silly.
So I want to play some wonderful, and I'm gonna have to stop these for copyright reasons. But this movie is fucking brutal. Like, he fucks him up in the first one, but every single thing he does to him in this movie would fucking kill them. You know? And it's
But
great.
most of it happens to Marv.
Most of it happens to Marv. Like, yeah, you're 100% right.
Poor Marv.
Yeah.
And I love how they call back everything he did in the first movie. Like, they tapped the doorknob because he burned it in the first one.
Totally. That's what I was saying too, Ben, about how you need that first one to bring the magic of the second.
Oh yeah, especially this ending, because they know his old tricks. So and he doesn't have his house.
Yeah.
So he has to use what he has. And again, I wish he had used the city as his sort of landscape to fuck with these guys. Maybe that wouldn't have made a lot of sense, but Lost in New York. Instead, he goes to this, brownstone that's being sort of renovated. And it works, but it's just not as colorful as when it's his own house,
Sure.
But it's his uncle's house.
And again, it's like, yeah, I just mean like it's renovated. It's being renovated, so it doesn't have like, a lot of color to it. It's very muted in this. But it's funny, like even though they learn their lessons, like touching the knob, they still are so fucking dumb. Marv is just standing there watching this like rope get pulled through. Oh, maybe I should pull this, because that's not what he wants me to do. It's a staple gun, right? Right in his nuts. Yeah.
I thought it was a nail gun. I was like, oh my God. That would be so painful.
I thought it was a nail gun too until it hits him in between the eyes and you see the staple.
That's when I was like, did he just take a nail gun to the face? What the fuck? And then I realized it was a staple gun. He's so fucking good in this stuff.
Dude, he's fucking Hail Marying, firing on all cylinders in this movie. Oh, and again, now this is a good detail, because if you notice, Harry in the first movie, he doesn't have this mannerism in the first movie, but in the second movie, he does this thing where every time he's mad or he gets hurt, he goes, "Wretched, wretched, 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 wretched." That was Joe Pesci. No, he didn't do it in the first one.
Oh, I thought he did.
So it was Joe Pesci telling Chris Columbus, when these things happen, like I want to express the way I'm feeling. So I'm going to cuss and say, fuck shit, fuck shit. So Chris Columbus and him sat down and said, find a language where you can feel like you're cussing constantly, but you're not. So it's Joe Pesci holding back from saying all these terrible words when he's doing this like, wretched, wretched, and it's great.
Yep.
See if we can find it. Oh, there you go. There it goes. It does kind of look like a nail just hit him in the eye. Right? Yeah, you're done after that.
100%.
You're done. Especially the dick one. Even the like smallest of silliest ones are just fucking great. I got more, but this is it for this one. Anyway,
and I've been holding back, and I'm thankful that this isn't something that Ben's going to edit over, because I know that he would put fake music over it. But Macaulay Culkin does a great job, you guys. But the star of this movie is John Williams, for both of the movies.
He's always the star.
He's a star of everything he decides to score.
The score of this movie, and I think the reason why I can rewatch it is when it's on TV. Like I can just leave it on when I'm doing stuff in my place. I just love the score, like the songs that they wrote, the sound effects, everything that goes along with this movie. It really puts it over the top. It carries the movie, in my opinion. And at the end, when he's towards the end, when he's up in the top with the bird lady and they're watching the orchestra, That is the actual orchestra that they used to record the film.
No way.
It was a shout out to all of them. So they all appeared in that scene, and those are the actual people bringing the music to life. Yeah, like this stuff. Forget about it.
No, well, my favorite part of his score, because like I said, the main theme, sometimes it sounds so much like the Harry Potter main theme, I don't even know which is which. But the Wet Bandits, Sticky Bandits theme is so great. Like, where does it start? Yeah. I'm gonna get
Oh yeah.
So good.
And that's why I put that at the beginning of the intro when General Esperanza is walking out of the plane. It's that music right there.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't want to play too much of it and get our fucking video taken down. But
I do like the little change of them being the Sticky Bandits. That's fun. You
Yeah.
know, Marv has a lot of fun with that.
Well,
And
it's
you
funny.
get that-
Harry won't adopt it, so he doesn't do it.
Yeah. Well, he also didn't adopt the Wet Bandits thing either.
That's
he
true.
didn't
That
like
stuff
it
was
or
all
didn't.
Marv. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you
And then-
sick? What's the matter with you? What's
I
the
think
matter
there's
with
some
you?
fun moments with that woman that he keeps accosting accidentally.
Yeah.
There's this funny online theory that's been going on for a few years. It's complete horse shit and a total joke. But the theory is they inserted that woman into the movie to have Marv kind of lust for her because they wanted to give the Wet Bandits a case of the not gays. Because there's a lot of dialogue in these movies where they could be lovers.
Never
So
thought
they-
of it that way.
No,
Other than-
nobody did that. Dude, this welcome to the YouTube space.
Yeah, I mean, other than they've spent a lot of time in prison, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, no, I never did either. But you go down that rabbit hole, you find all kinds of crazy shit. But yeah, I love these two so much. Like, if they're not the heart and soul of these movies, they're a big part of the pulse. You know, like they don't show up in this one for quite a while, whereas in the first one, you see him a lot earlier in the movie. Obviously, you see Harry at the beginning, dressed up as the cop. But then even before, I think you meet them both even before the McAllisters leave in the first one. But in this one, you don't see him until he's already had some like New York adventures.
Well, and they cross paths. Like he's crossing the street and he gets yelled out. Like, hey, kid, get out of the road. And that person's driving the truck that they're in.
Yeah. But still, like I don't think the first time they pop up is here, right?
Yes.
This is the first time you see him, and that's
but
about
he literally just crossed the street. Like he's like they did all this foreshadowing and these fun tie-ins that make it comic
That's
book.
like a good 30 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
I just saw what you wrote, John. Shout out The Abyss. What did I miss?
Me?
Oh no, that's
oh, Danny. Shout out The Abyss.
Yeah, well, when I started typing, it just reminded me of that scene from The Abyss when he's sending messages up there. And he sends that message.
You
"Love
mean you so your typing made you think of typing in the abyss is what you're
Yeah, like that scene. Well, if you look at the comment section, I
know you put love you wife. Yeah.
Wait, what scene?
Don't worry about it. I get what Danny's saying. He's
Did
just
I
having
miss
fun with the comment section. It's making him think of the movie The Abyss.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like fucking lost. I'm like, what? What are we talking
How
about?
much do I owe you? Keep the change, you filthy animal.
What does he say in the second one? He says, "You dirty slut," or I don't know, something like that. You're a whore. I can't remember. No, he doesn't say that, but similar. Oh, this is pretty funny. I remember laughing my fucking ass off.
Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
Oh my god, dude, that's in a kids movie. I mean, I know he's not asking for a blowjob, but boy,
if the shoe fits.
This scene cracked me up so much when I was a kid because I was 14 or 15 when this one came out. When he just goes into the fact that Kevin would be like, he's gonna put his head in the toilet when this happens. Okay.
He actually burned his head in real life.
He did.
Right?
He did.
Yeah.
He burned his head. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, movie making back then, like Joe Pesci is standing there with a fucking flame coming off of his head.
Totally.
So this handstand is what cracked me up the most. It just came out of nowhere.
And it is a moment that kind of you clearly are like, well, Joe Pesci can't do that.
No, but where does the double come in? Let's see. Like that's him.
Well, right here. That's not him.
I know he comes in, but I wonder if you can like see it because yeah, it's a different dude. It's probably like a fucking wrestler.
It's just how smooth he does it. It looks like a gymnast, you know.
Well, then they cut before you see him balance his feet up against the wall. Too.
And again, this is where you have to realize these are Looney Tunes movies. Like, oh, that would have killed him. Yeah. What movie are you watching, dude? Of course it would have. So would the bricks on the head. Let's see. Are there any other good one? Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. Fucking Marv just takes it up the ass.
Look at him shaking. He's so good.
He gets it just so bad. I want to see.
And then when they come across each other, Marv's looking like this with his hair shot out and paint covered, and then Joe Pesci's all like soot all over his face. His teeth are black and everything. Like they both just look totally destroyed when they come across each other next.
Well, it's like in the first one where he's like, "Marv, why'd you take your shoes off? Why the hell are you dressed like a chicken?"
That's right. When they come across each other, the first one, he's like looking like the chicken and everything. So, you know, that again, both these sequels do a good job of recreating the moments we want from an original, but making them different enough that they have their own identity, that they are their own moments within their sequel film.
And they up things. You know, they bring them up. You know,
and that's a general rule of a sequel. But,
for sure.
But they do a good job of it. Yes.
This is another Marv is very smart moment here where he pulls, hey, I wonder if I should pull this rope. Oh, I'll climb it because that.
Yeah, because that's a good idea.
Yeah. I'm coming up. Dude. Uh-oh.
That's death too.
It's
Every
death
single
or
one of them is death.
It's death or paralysis from like broken spine or neck or something. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I love all these clips of what happens to them. I mean, again, like the first one, it's so much more quaint and like, you know, he's in his like tree house and you know he flies across, and then this one he's like burning kerosene soaked ropes and fucking they're falling off of buildings and exploding like, and then you know you get that most vulnerable point in a climax where Kevin decides to venture out and run, and that's where he hits and I did this a million times in Chicago when you're in a certain part of the sidewalk and the ice just kind of starts to like freeze over itself. As soon as you step on that, you're going to break your tailbone. Oh, yeah. You know, just slip right away. Let's see. Owen, read that one, John.
Joe Pesci was so used to being a gangster in his films and so used to cussing that he kept accidentally cussing during his scenes. He figured out how to curb the cussing by speaking that gibberish.
Yeah. See. Owen knows. Yeah. They literally made him sort of create this thing.
Well,
so that
it always reminded me of that. I forget which cartoon character it is. Like they'd have those, there was like those races, and there was like the dastardly dude who had a dog that would snicker and do like, yeah.
Well, it's a lot of cartoons. Yeah.
I think there's a number of cartoons that had characters that kind of,
probably
doing the same thing. The character is supposed to be cursing, but that's just the gibberish that was allowed to be played for the kids' ears.
Yeah. We can show the cartoon characters' heads getting blown off, but we can't have them cussing.
Yeah.
We can throw bricks at our characters, but we can't have them curse.
Can we talk about the brilliance of this man right here in this movie?
Yeah. So
He's kind of the game changer for me of this movie because like I said, he's not substituting, he's not replacing excuse me, a character from part one. He's a totally new invention. And I love, he's so creepy and sleazy. The way the music it rises when he just sees this kid and he gives that Tim Curry like eyebrow lift. And it's just like, why is he so suspicious of this kid at first anyway? Obviously later it makes more sense. Like, where's your dad? We haven't seen any parents or whatever, but right off the bat, and he's just like, McAllister, huh? Like, and he's brilliant. Tim Curry. Just
find me everything you can to know about that boy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, he's fucking brilliant in this movie, man. He's just another very small obstacle for Kevin to climb, and it gives the movie that extra added on stakes where he has to get past the hotel crew with, you know, doing the dirty sluts with filthy souls or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then after that, you get back to the sticky bandits, but it's a nice little added thing that you didn't get in the first one. But let's get on to, so in the first one, we have the South Bend Shovel Slayer, who John and I just gushed over that church scene when you finally get to know that this guy is just an old man. And he's actually one of the sweetest dudes ever, super down to earth. And him and Kevin have a great conversation. He's a nice guy. He's estranged from his like.
Sorry. What the fuck? that was
awesome, dude. Like,
that was
nothing
supposed
like
to be a line from the old man, apparently. But
I'm happy that it was death metal, dude. That's fucking rad. Yeah.
Daniel Stern's grabbing your head too hard.
But that scene's just beautiful, and like Kevin's not just like, oh, you're not so bad. He's just like, he just found out about this guy's life, and Kevin gives him advice about, like, you know, me calling his kid. It's like, you're like, wow, like that, you know, because, you know, Buzz is telling him that story. I heard he killed 6 people and chopped them up with a fucking snow shovel or whatever. Yeah. In this one, you get this bitch who she's a fine actress. I liked her in So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Brenda Fricker is her name.
I believe she's an Oscar winner for My Left Foot.
She is an
Irish actress.
She is an Oscar winner. I just don't like this character, bird shit lady.
Me either. Yeah.
And I was happy to hear John say that, because I've always hated this character. I don't know why she would take a little boy up to like the roof of this. I guess you have to roll with things in these kind of movies, but like it just. And then the fact that, like, when he meets back up with his family, I'm jumping ahead, but when he meets back up with his family and they're staying at the Plaza Hotel's biggest fucking presidential suite, he gives her 2 turtle doves on Christmas. Like, how about, like, hey, Dad, can I give her a couple $100? I don't know.
Yeah.
She's like, thanks for these, Kevin. Right on.
Well, and we never hear her name. He never asks her name. He introduced himself.
He doesn't care.
McAllister. Yeah, he does not have a name in the film.
She's bird shit lady.
Yeah.
But like her inclusion and her insertion as to like, oh, she has to come and save Kevin at the end with the bird food. Oh, so dumb. It was great when the shovel slayer shows up and hits the guys with the shovel. This was just like so meaningless, and like, you know, he kind of already had everything wrapped up. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well,
am I being too harsh?
No, I think to your point of, you know, kind of the theme of the show is these originals that do it so well, and then these sequels that find a way to do the same thing but do it different enough to find its own identity and be fun and entertaining. This is one of the few moments that fails at doing that tries so hard to recreate that exact same thing, but just does it poorly.
And because I think it almost felt like they feel like they needed to have that character again, but why? Like so it made sense in the first one because he was like the neighborhood sort of like outcast or whatever, you know. In this one, it's just like, okay, he meets a homeless lady and he screams and then he turns around right away and goes, you know what? Never mind. You're not so bad. I get it. The birds like you. And that's some pretty bad acting from from our boy Mackie Mac in that part right there. But whatever. But yeah, I just find her just completely. It was only to fill that character. Like, we need to have another one of these people that he connects with.
Mhm.
And then in the end, you're just like, how sad is that? He gives her 2 turtle doves when he probably could have got his dad to give her some money or some food or coat.
He only gives her one, because if she has a turtle dove and he has a turtle dove, then
he only gives her one.
Yeah, he does only give her one.
Go back and sell those because there's only one. God damn, dude.
Well,
Josh knows.
Technically,
Black
the
Ice.
movie does cut with him still standing in front of her. So he could be like, hey, you want to come back to the room and have dinner?
How about have a hot
Christmas
shower?
dinner? That's what I'm saying. Like,
cold shower.
You would think that he invited her back to the hotel room to meet the family and spend a day in a warm room and, shower and eat or whatever. All of that probably does take place. We don't see it, though.
Not canon.
No, it's not.
He should have been like, my Uncle Frank will probably fuck the shit out of you too if you want to come back.
Even with the pigeon shit on you.
Yeah, even with the pigeon shit. No, I mean, again, it's his nitpick about that scene, but I just didn't like the character. I do like the actress. I knew she won for My Left Foot, and she's really funny as Mike Myers' mom. And So I Married an Axe Murderer. So she's great. It was just a weird. I don't know. You didn't need that character at all.
Mike Myers' mom, but also Mike Myers' wife, because he plays his dad.
That's true.
Kid, move! Kid, move your mouth.
Cry yourself to sleep with your enormous pillow. Yeah. You almost could have had if you had made Duncan more of a role. He could have almost been that guy, because then it would have been a reversal where, okay, he doesn't start out as creepy and then he becomes heroic. He becomes out as nice, but then helps out Kevin. But he does in the end, obviously. But I like the character of Duncan. I like that actor a lot. His name is escaping me.
Eddie Bracken.
Yeah, I know him from stuff. Like, I loved his scenes in this movie. We haven't talked enough about Duncan's toy chest because that is just a magical place. It's so well constructed. And like I said at the beginning of this, they built that they gutted that place, built it to make it in this vision. That's what Christopher Columbus is just fucking so good at, like just creating these like magical scenarios and stuff. That's obviously why they picked him for the first couple of Harry Potter movies, and it worked out. But Duncan's toy chest, you get these big sprawling shots of how big it is and how amazing it is. And like I said, it's different than the toy stores we go to, where it smells like shit and there's toys broken open all over the floor and there's kids screaming and everyone's crying and there's 2 Karens fighting over who's going to get the fucking, G.I. Joe or the Turbo Man, but it's just,
to be honest,
amazing.
Toy stores don't really exist anymore. There are toy sections in
but they did back then though. Yeah.
But I mean, I want to say that the big one in New York, especially around that time, was like FAO Schwartz or something.
Correct.
That's the kind of one that would be this big and spacious and everything like that. So I guess it was probably just too expensive, or they were just recreating their own version of it that they could control. And
well, this is what they made. I think it wasn't I don't think it was a matter of budget. I think they just wanted to make their own really cool place that made Kevin just like go, oh my God.
I read it was constructed inside of like an old theater.
Wherever it was constructed. Well, that would make sense, because if you look at that staircase.
Yeah.
I just know that they shot the exterior in Chicago and then they made this entire place. Yeah, it might not have actually. I think I was wrong. I don't think it was an actual toy store that they demolished, but they made this whole place when they probably could have just shot in a real toy store. But so glad they didn't, because look how cool that place looks.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of toys, but I don't see any toys that aren't like Christmas themed toys.
Most of
Which the day after Christmas are kind of boring to play with, I guess.
Looks like Willy Wonka's Christmas factory.
So it looks. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a Christmas village or something,
Whoville.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just not so like retarded, but yes, yeah. Yeah, and then Kevin wins the day, and his family. Look at the chick look at her eyes next to the redhead who looks like Ron Weasley. Like, look at that chick's face.
And really quick, I don't know which one it is in there, but Hilary Wolf is the actor who plays Kevin's oldest sister. She won the World Judo Championship 2 years after this and represented the USA in the Olympics in the 1996 and 2000 Summer Olympics for judo.
My guess is the chick in the yellow robe.
That's my
just,
guess. Yeah.
Just a wild guess.
Yeah.
She looks like she could kick my ass at that age. Yes. It's funny. That's the little now Academy Award winning actor, the other Culkin brother, right?
Kieran, yeah.
Yeah, Kieran. That little kid with the glasses has a fucking Oscar, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny.
He's really fucking good. He's a good actor. So is Macaulay. You know,
That's Kieran, right? Because then there's also Rory.
Rory is the one that was in
He's
Scream.
the one in Scream.
Yeah.
But
he's good
not,
too.
He's not the one in Home Alone. It's Kieran.
Kieran's the one in Home Alone, and Igby Goes Down.
Is Rory in which is the one in Signs?
That's Kieran.
That's also Kieran.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, Kieran's in.
No, that's Rory. That's Rory. Yeah, because Kieran's older. Rory's the younger one, I think. Whoever the younger one is, because it has to be Rory. Because see Kieran in this movie. That's basically the age he is in Signs, and this movie's 10 years after.
I know. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
No, it's got to be the other guy because he's in Scream 4 and he's a teenager in that.
Yeah,
so
it is Rory. It is Rory.
He's really good in Signs. He's really good in Signs. All those guys are good, man. They should start a band. Call it the McCulkins. You guys want to do final thoughts? Are we good? Let's wait. Let me see. I got another.
I do have to get home, so wrapping it up would help.
Reminds me a bit of Harry Potter. Yes, it does. It does. Well, dude. It's the same director.
Chris Columbus creation.
There's probably a lot of similar. There's probably some holdover from production design people, possibly. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, that's a whole nother video you could do, like the similarities.
Speaking of Chris Columbus. Speaking of Chris Columbus, Christmas, and sequels, apparently he is going to direct Gremlins 3.
I heard that.
I don't know if it'll be Christmas set, but
it will be.
Probably.
It will be. I'm kind of looking forward to Gremlins 3. You have Zach Galligan coming back in it, supposedly.
I hadn't heard anything about the cast. I just heard about that.
Zach Galligan is supposedly coming back. Sign me the fuck up. Phoebe Cates won't be in it. There's no way. She retired a long time ago.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay. I'm sure there's a story. I want to see who's writing it.
Are they going to tell us that Phoebe fell down the chimney?
Just like her dad.
Her character fell down the chimney.
Dude, how great would it be if like he has a kid, some kids, and he's like, so your mother, she dressed up as Mrs. Claus and came down the chimney, and she was dead for 5 days.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
sign me the fuck up for Gremlins, man. Like 3, but I want to see who's writing it before anything else. Like, if they hire another person that has like 0 fucking writing credits, and
they should get one of those Marvel writers. They do it.
Get one of the agenda-driven Marvel writers. Yeah. But no, I'm hoping.
Yep.
Could be good. Could be really good. Keep the puppets, but use CGI when you need to. Don't make it all CGI. So anyway, wrong movie. Yeah. So I don't know. I gotta
say my final thoughts on Home Alone 2.
Final thoughts for me is I think it's just as good as the first one, but different. You go.
Well, as rewatching it, I was considering where would this fall in my top favorite 50 movies of all time. Would it fit in my top 100? No, not at all. But I enjoy it. It's an entertaining movie. It's a really great sequel. Does the premise well, for a second time, having to retread similar territory. It does a good job of being fresh enough. The third act at the house does beat the first movie in terms of just hilarity and insanity and torture. So yeah, there's a lot to like in it. I really love Home Alone 2. It's kind of a yearly watch. James got to watch Home Alone 1 and really was able to take it in. He recognizes Carol the Bells now and calls it the Home Alone song. And yeah, I think he really got Home Alone 1 and was able to enjoy it. We started watching Home Alone 2 and he fell asleep, so I'll try to get him to finish it at some point. But that was one thing I could tell, like he wasn't able to engage with it the same way he was the first film. And I'm not sure what that is, because you're still following Kevin, you're still following a kid, which goes a long way.
Do you think it's because there's more going on?
I think there was more in the first half hour. There was more setup that wasn't just focused on things he could get. And so he fell asleep. Plus we were watching it right after the first, so he had already gone through an entire movie. But yeah, I think it will, as he was able to enjoy the first one, clearly he will enjoy the second one when he's able to take it in. And I think both these movies will be something that it was already kind of a yearly watch for me, just because they're so great at this time of year. But with James, it's going to be something that, for the next 10 to 15 years, I'm sure we will be catching Home Alone as often as we can during the holidays.
Yeah. Danny.
John Williams again. The score is just phenomenal. I love that it's just an easy watch. And like John said, it's on every year. So it's just the tradition of it. I think at this point is what's important to me. And it's just something you don't really have to think about. And the characters are just so over the top, and it's just like a live action comic book, which makes it just so entertaining.
Looney Tunes. Yeah,
just so entertaining and fun. And it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's when you it's part of the fabric of like my childhood, so there's sentimental value to it. That's the word I was looking for. It's just a sentimental watch.
And you're a couple years younger than myself and John, I think, right? By 2 or 3 years at least. Yeah. So yeah, you were at the age watching this one that we were watching the first one, I think, or close.
My memories of this one are how much popcorn buckets I had to sweep up, because this movie was a massive.
Were you already working there?
A hit, and I was working at the movie theater. This is
you were already working there.
I was 16 when this movie came out.
Yeah.
This was the first year I was working at the theaters, and I remember, this being a massive holiday hit with huge lines, and it was, that was an exciting time. It was my first job, and when some movies weren't hits, you'd see just whatever, but when you had a movie on this level and you were working at the theater, it was an exciting weekend. Nowadays, I don't even know. It's like you don't see lines out the door. Even if something's considered a sellout, you don't feel it at the theater. You felt it back then. Like we were like going crazy trying to manage the amount of people that wanted to come out and see these movies.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
My memory always kind of goes to like how crowded it was during that time. And
I didn't realize that in 92 you were 16 and already working in that fucking place.
within, I don't know.
You're a little bit old. You're a little bit more older than me than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, well, 76. I was born in 76.
Okay. So you're about a year old.
But in March, so it's at the beginning of the year. But yeah, I got my job like the week I turned 16. It could have been the day after. Could have been the fucking on my birthday. I can't remember. I went to the theater and said, I turned 16. You want to hire me? And they said, you look like you're 12. If you can prove that you're 16, we'll hire you. I proved it. They hired me.
Was this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
It was the one that was across the street. It was called the El Toro Cinema.
El Toro 5. The El Toro 5. Yeah.
It's now a gym or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Crunch. Yeah.
That was the first one.
But you worked at, because correct me if I'm wrong, John. I know that listeners.
I worked at all three over.
No, but wasn't the 1, 2, 3 the PG to PG-13s and the 4, 5, 6 the R rated?
No, they didn't treat it that way.
Okay. I don't know why.
It was more about which one looked more promising to make money would be at the 4, 5, 6. The ones that didn't seem like hits would be at 1, 2, 3.
That's right. Okay.
Because it was.
I remember. I saw Leprechaun at the 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to say, we've done our rounds, but so the Christmas choir what a bunch of fuckhead parents laughing.
Oh yeah.
Who the fuck would do that? Like, I get it that Uncle Frank would do that because you've written him. And also, Uncle Frank is a weird pedophile psychopath when he's like, you saw me naked. I don't know. What does he say, Danny? You know this movie back and forth. He says something like, you'll never be a man, or I don't know.
Oh, well, that's what he told his dad. Yeah.
Yeah, you nosy little pervert. Like, Uncle Frank.
But the line is, he says, shit, I don't know if I remember exactly. But it's
the
something
dad
like
repeating it to the wife.
Yeah. Well, no, the son the kid Kevin says,
yeah,
Uncle
he says, Uncle Frank said,
I
I won't be a man now because I saw his dick or something,
No, it's
He
not.
didn't say
forget what
kid.
it is.
It's not that raw.
I know. I'm just saying, like, generalizing,
Yeah, I forget.
Ding dong! Ding dong!
All right, well, I think I got to sign off, guys.
All right, you guys. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays for myself and John and Danny and all our little Cinema Gulf elves here. And I really want to thank Josh and Movie Malice and Owen. I threw out a feeler to see if any of them would watch, and I really appreciate the fact that they seem to have watched the whole time. So it's always appreciated when we see our friends on here.
Totally.
So thank you guys. That was a nice Christmas present, and we love you. Danny, you want to do the last? You want to do the sign off here?
I actually have a sign off.
Oh, okay. You do it then.
All right, everybody. Merry Christmas, everybody. Yippee-ki-yay, you filthy animals.
That's a good one. That works.
So
Bye.
Oh, to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody.